Hello, friends. Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening. Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Hi. Good evening, Anilji.
Good evening,
Good
sir.
evening, sir.
Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening. I think our colleagues are still joining. I could see, including me, there are around 14. So we are expecting almost double than this figure. So we can wait for a few minutes before they join.
Hey guys, Abdul joining in.
Fine.
Hi.
So I could see, friends, majority of the people they are joined. So I think high time to start. Fine.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. So friends, a very good evening to all my
Yeah, good
friends.
evening, sir. Good evening. Good evening
Good
to
evening
everybody.
and welcome all for the second day of our program, day 2 on PMP. As you are aware, we will switch ways. We have discussed few points yesterday. So before we start the proceedings discussion for today, this has been our usual tradition, we can say, or we can say the process where we have a quick recap of what we do, what we have done yesterday as on day 1, earlier day, right? So my appeal to all of you, anybody from the team who can have a quick recap of what we covered, maybe 3 minutes, 5 minutes, not more than that. Quickly, just here, so that would spare up the background for today's discussion. Anybody voluntarily, what we covered, what we discussed yesterday.
We discussed about
Yes, madam.
management.
Welcome. Yeah,
We
please.
discussed first what is management and then what is project. And the important points was like we discussed about the product life cycle, that what
Yes,
are the various steps in product life cycle. So first is to conceptualize and then define, then development, and
perfect.
and after that handover, and the project manager's tasks get over and it is handed over to the operations team,
Perfect.
and then the benefits and operations is taken care by them, and then the projects gets terminated.
Correct.
And in that we studied about various stages where we should review the project, uh, and um, later we studied about some new product. When we are launching any new product, then what process should we follow. One more what I remember is how to break down the projects into parts if
Okay.
it is a vast project. So we are breaking down it into several parts.
WBS.
The WBS.
Okay. Great. Good. Well covered. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you, sir.
Anybody else who would take from here onwards? Madam has covered initial part what we discussed, but we could discuss few other points also. Anybody else in the team?
So teamwork,
Yeah,
the
Sachinji.
example which was shown while connecting both ends, you need to review, you need to design proper planning.
Perfect. Perfect.
The
What else?
PLC part also, sir. Project life cycle.
That ma'am has covered. Okay.
Okay, okay.
We also covered stages of
Yeah.
project formulation, executive stage, and evaluation stage. We also
Correct.
covered some of day two regarding the project startup. That was what we had started with. For business case,
New product.
project starter,
That's
then securing resources and project management plan.
perfect. Okay.
And then we were doing pestle analysis at the last.
Okay. Great. Fantastic. That topic we have just started. We are going to continue with the same topic. Okay. So friends, well covered. Anybody has anything to connect? Any disconnect in the discussion?
So, sir, about the aspects of a project, there were several points. So, when I was going through the PPT, I was unable to recall it.
I'm sorry, ma'am.
In under the topic of aspects of a project. So, when I was going through the PPT, I was not able to recall aspects of a project. If you can just summarize it once again.
Aspect.
Yeah. On the PPT, it is aspects of the project, and the
Oh, it's yeah.
PSAT is
Okay. You want me to?
technical
You
hard
want?
aspect and socio-cultural
Yeah.
soft. So,
You
if you
want me
can.
to have a look at the PPT again?
Uh,
The basic aspect characteristics of the project. You mean?
Yes, sir. If you can just.
Sure. Sure. Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
Thank you,
Yeah.
sir.
Yeah. Already shared, but yes, for the benefit of all, good. Good point. Give me 1 second.
Sir, myself, Vetrivel.
Yes, please, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, I am joining today only. Yesterday I was not attended.
No issue.
So I am continuing from second day only actually.
Sure. Sure. What I will do, I will share the presentation to you also. So you please go through that. If you have
Yes, sir.
anything to clear, we'll have a small session for you also. So don't worry about it.
Right, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. And I'm just opening the presentation of yesterday. Ma'am, she just wanted to have a look into the aspects of the any project. 1 second, let me
Okay.
share also.
Okay, sir.
That's so that in a summarized way, you will also understand, sir, that what the project is all about. I know how far this activity is different than the normal activity as well.
Okay, sir.
I hope all of you can see the slide.
Yes, sir.
Madam, this is what you wanted to have one relook or anything else? Hello, ma'am. This is what you wanted to have a relook. With this, can we go ahead with
So
today's
sorry.
session?
I'm so sorry, sir. I was on mute and I was speaking. Sir, I'm saying slide number 7.
I don't know the number, but you can
Okay.
see
Yeah. Next. Yes,
this
yes,
one.
that one, that one. Yes, see this one.
Okay. Anything, any concept not clear?
So I wanted to understand that why we have split it, and then later I know that we are covering these points. But if you can describe it a bit.
We are again still we are not yet covered. We are just touch
Okay.
base the basic understanding of this aspect. We are definitely we
Okay.
are going ahead with more detailed discussion, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, sir. Sure, sir. Then fine. Then it will get
Thank
covered.
you. So should we go ahead with today's session?
Yes, please.
Thank you. So give me 1 second. I will open the presentation for today. Some part of it we have already covered, friends. Give me 1 second. I will open the presentation. Let me share also. Make sure everybody can see the presentation.
Yes, I can see it.
Thank you. Okay, thanks, friends. Thank you. Okay, so let's go ahead. So this is what we covered broadly. What is the universe of the project all about? How we are encircled, engulfed by so many factors, so many you can say stakeholders, parties as well. We discuss in detail. Then we came to very important discussion, friends. Again, for the sake of repetition, we are at this stage, a part of the startup stage broadly. We are into planning now. Okay, so as a project manager, once the concept is clear, once you get a very defined way of going ahead with the project, then you are given the responsibility to come out, build up, and present the business case, friends. Very very important. So what we discussed yesterday is about few, I can say, the significance of the business case. Please remember this term as business case only. Okay, so why business case is important? What is its role, significance? We had discussed yesterday. Okay, we need to identify the interested parties and understand the needs. What are the specific key requirements of the project so as to achieve the business goals? Then what could be the priorities in the project within the various actions? What are priority items or priority actions also need to highlight? Then document the scope of the project, what we are going to discuss today or tomorrow. The what is scope management of the project also. At the same time, we need to clearly mention about the constraint, or maybe you can say showstoppers and also assumptions. We must have the business case based on certain assumptions. Whatever study, whatever analysis, whatever evaluation you have done, okay, that should have a basis, some basis, on the basis of which we have to build up the business case. Then document the both, very importantly, financial feasibility and non-financial also. That's what is going to be our discussion. We are not yet discussed. And we have also seen into pestle analysis, which would be a acting and counteracting of various forces from outside, which may or may not impact on the project also. Okay, so those were the PEST analysis. Of course, PESTL stands for political factors, economic, social, technological, legal, and of course, in environmental also. Okay, so we also need to have a look at those factors, what way they are going to impact, influence, okay, on the project also. So with this, let's go ahead, friends, with the discussion. So when we built up the case as a template, as a guideline for you, okay, what could be the minimum content of the business case? Okay, let's understand that. So first of all, friends, just look into a specific need. Why yourself, your business organization, or your team, management team, have felt a need, acute, you can say a specific need to take up the project. Why there was need? Okay, whether the timing was appropriate, whether this is the most opportune time to go ahead for this project. Okay, that needs to be explained. Why this project? So somewhere we need to explain the answer to the question why this need of the project. Then of course in line with the need, okay, well justified, what are going to be specific objective of the project, what we are going to achieve, what we are going to have outcome or product output of this product, okay, out of this project also. So it needs to be very specifically mentioned as to these are going to be my objective of the project also. Out of the project you may be coming out with a visible product, new product or improvised product, or maybe next version of the product, or some different degree of service, any service also which you have researched and evolved, and now you would like to make it practically implementable and of course commercial also, which is going to be delivered out of the project. What we mention again for the sake of benefit of all of us, most of the projects they have initiative, or you can say stirring action for the customer also. Customer wants something to do, that's what we give a shape of the project for that requirement, for meeting the requirement. Then overall time, very important friends, we need to have a basis on which what we need, how much time, overall time, overall cost, and of course quality objectives. But again you have to break down the cost and time also for each and every activity, for each and every zone, for each and every department or major minor activity, what are going to be your assignment of time and cost attachment also, okay, and need to be well justified. Very important working friends, I suppose one of the key working of your business case could be in terms of assignment of the time, okay, timelines, and also cost as well, cost attached for that much time, that activity. And out of that cost you must justify what are going to be quality objectives of the project also. Then as we discussed yesterday friends, your project or your project activity is not different than the philosophy of your organization, okay. Somewhere it has very close alignment of the organization strategy, or you can say theme, project, or your spirit of your organization also. That's why while you are going to implement the project as an in charge project manager, what is going to be overall strategy of the organization you must mention here. And in line with that strategy only, we are moving ahead, we are going ahead with this project. What are the key resource need? I mentioned yesterday, not only that we need a lot of resources, major, minor, okay, incidental, but we need to mention the specific key resources. Why key resources? These are, as I mentioned, these are the baseline budget, or these are the baseline resources. Unless and until we need this optimum key resources, possibly we cannot go ahead with the project also. That's why you have to highlight, mention the resources to meet, okay, the expenses or maybe expenditure for the project. Investor appraisal data, it means it's you're not only going to produce or going to launch a project for yourself or for your industry also. Apart from the customer, there are interested parties. We are going to see who are the interested parties and stakeholders. So looking at uniqueness of your project outcome, there could be some people, could be some investors. They are quite interested, they are very keen to put some investment to this particular project also. So as to justify the investment friends, okay, we must work out a detailed appraisal also, okay. So the investor or the group of investors should feel the worth of investment to the project, or their keenness, okay, to allocate the resources for this particular project also, okay, channelize the resources also. What best way the resources are going to be channelized, okay, so as to look at the final output, final result out of the project also. So on one side there's a cost, okay, expenditure, different expenditure we are going to discuss. Again, there could be a fixed expenditure, capital expenditure, as well as the recurring expenditure also. Both we have to work out detail headwise based on the basis. And of course, what are the expected income, expected returns, projected returns out of this, okay. So this should have a equitable balance as well within the given time zone also. This is something we call this as an investment appraisal of the project.
Sir, I have one point
Yeah, please sir.
query. In
Yeah.
the point number 3, sir, you already reason we have already mentioned project's overall time and cost. It's already mentioned.
Okay.
Project's overall cost. And again, in the investment appraisal data, we are again thinking about the cost of the project. So it doesn't have two different same point, because
There's not a
already when we are thinking of project overall cost, so it includes everything for the investment appraisal data also.
when we come at the appraisal as such, here we are, of course, we are not repeating the total cost again. We need to have a relative view as to if this is the cost we have to incur or this is the cost. See, when we say the project overall cost is of course detailed cost atom wise, here we are trying to relate the cost vis-a-vis the income, vis-a-vis the expected income. That's what is expected. So that we will showcase that yes, the cost is worth as when we look at the income or returns which are expected out of this project. That's what we try to relate and correlate the cost involved with the income. That's what I mean. We did not repeat again. It's a relative appraisal.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Thank you. Okay. Then very importantly, friends, if we really we have the confidence, we the confidence oozing out. Yes, if I'm given so much of resources, minimum resources, definitely I can look for the success as well. But what is the success? How you measure the success? Okay. How what are the dimensions of your success also? So again, case to case, project to project, the criteria could be different. But given the project to you, for this project, what are the criteria to see that it is successful? Okay, so specific criteria, USPs, what you have, you must mention that yes, if we cross this benchmark, okay, and then come to the last point, yes, definitely we can see that my criteria, what a criteria I laid down within my scope, okay, that has been fulfilled. It means the project has been successful. So criteria needs to be mentioned by you, and to provide this for every team member, not only team member but you also, for you also as a PM, what are the KPIs, what are the indicators of performance, we call this as KPIs. Okay, so all those into management must be knowing. So for this also your success criteria should be aligned with the indicators, how the performance of each team member which who is involved can be measured. Okay, that's what you need to mention the KPIs of the project also. As we discussed in the pestle analysis, friends, so whatever way the project has impact on society around as well as environment also, if any, if at all we have, that also specifically mentioned positively. Yes, if at all there is some maybe environmental impact, or suppose the type of project you have, this could be say for example could be chemical based or fertilizer based, and which may be generating some pollutants. In that case, how that impact could be rationalized, how you are going to treat that pollutants, what is going to be a strategy, something called as effluent treatment plan, ETP. Okay, so this also should be mentioned to have to show the feeling that yes, I'm quite careful, I care for the environmental impact, and we have a strategy to nullify the negative impact on the project also. We discuss about the risk assess. So here also same case like any business activity we are looking of. So for this, you can say limited endeavor, limited period, tenure of the project, what we're looking for also could be loaded with certain risk. Okay, so you'll agree with me, friend, that there's no business, there's no project, there's no any such activity, range of activities which could be free from risk also. Except that the degree of risk could vary, the extent of risk can be different from project to project. So the way you look at the project, its outcome, positive outcome also, you need to also pin up the risk as well. So what could be risk you may come across? Okay, so you may identify the risks which are identified risks. There could be some risks which could be sudden, okay, which may abruptly come up also. Okay, so in that case, any known and both unknown risk also. Okay, how you are going to attack, how you are going to counter the risk, as I mentioned, out of this such a situation, how you will come out and implement BCP, business continuity plan. Within this risk also, friends, any such area may give you opportunity as well. Okay, when the way we look at such a risk or such a situation, this may give you some further opportunities, maybe not now, but maybe in near future also, near future. So how you look at this as an opportunity as well, isn't it? Similarly, just like COVID-19, friends, we had that situation, right? We all of us, we certainly got grilled into that unimaginable circumstances. Certainly, a lot of people they have suffered. Okay, a lot of people they have absolutely suffered or different has seen the different way of life also. We have learned a lot of things, but there are some people, some category of businesses. Okay, they could encash this as an opportunity also. So same could be the case for, I'm not talking about such a pandemic situation, but any such situation, if you come across, whether this can be converted into opportunity as well, should be mentioned in the business. Okay. So friends, I think these are the key points of a business case or the content, which around in and around which you need to build up and prepare the business case. Okay. What the next step onward further is nothing but this is going to be your key role, specific key role, skill, the in what best way you can analyze the way you look at the project, understand the project, and accordingly build up and prepare the business case. Okay. Why I'm saying, because you being a responsible project manager, friends, once you build up the case, you have to submit it to the higher authorities, or you have to present it to the competent authority, and describe the entire business case as far as the project is concerned. Okay, so from that, this here onwards, we'll see what is going to be the next activity. Let's go ahead. Just to have a look, friends, as I said, based on this some parameterization or some basic understanding, one of the very well-known business case, example of business case I would like to put before you. This is a very well-known case which many project managers they refer. So my pleasure to put it before you also. How crisply they are prepared and how appropriate point they have taken into account. Just you can have a look. So project title, what is the project all about? Then who is the sponsor? Okay, specifically the person who is the head of sales. So here in this case, the sponsor was head of sales. He was responsible for marketing it. Project manager, then date of project approval. That's what we are going to see. So there was no revision at all. So first and foremost, in one slot, okay, slot itself, the project got approved. How this project is going to contribute to the business and overall business strategy of the organization, that has been mentioned. So with a view to better in the customer service with the industry, this project was launched. What were the different options? Options could be one of, you can say, the key deliverable. What could be the possible benefits, okay, which would accrue to the industry? So specifically mention increase sales, enhancement of sales. So with this project, definitely company firm is looking to substantial increase in sale. Happier customers, to definitely to look at the state of the customer service to make them happy. Improved LTV, loan to value. Time scales also mentioned, 3 to 4 months. Look at the cost broadly. You can have a further detailed breakup. So vis-a-vis the cost, as I mentioned, against that cost, how those would be countered through the expected returns. So 3-year project. So it is expected that at least for first year could be a construction year, or you can say moratorium period where the company doesn't expect any sales. That is also understandable. And how the sales will go up from second year onwards. Also, risks have been mentioned very specifically. Okay, friends, so this is all, you can say, some sort of template. Of course, you can build up a specific, more detailed, comprehensive template of businesses as well. So with this, let us go ahead, friend. Understand how once you are ready with the business case, you'll take it up with the top management, higher management. Okay, this is something called as project charter, friends. So next immediate Rather, next major actionable for the project is project charter. As I mentioned, project charter is nothing but once you submit and get nod, or once you submit, present, okay, thread where a lot of discussion, head-to-head discussion takes place. Thereafter, after the series of discussion, what comes out is the formal approval by the management or maybe by stakeholder or sponsor. Okay, so with this is something you can say authorized document to go ahead, authorized document to go ahead for you with the project. This gives you authority to the project manager as in charge to use all the resources, whatever resources have been approved in the charter. Okay, that's why I mentioned, friends. Formally, without a project charter, without such a you can a clear approval, the project cannot be, should not be started. That's why, as you can see, it's an approved business case. Many cases, if the business case as it is, it's approved, which is next to rather very remotely possible. There are a lot of changes which may happen based on your business case and the project charter which comes out as a document. But that's what I experienced. If it is ideally okay, this is a business case as it is approved, then it is the sheer qualities of the project manager. Okay, so there was discussion, but the management thought it fit that okay, this business case as it is can be approved. In that case, business case can act as a project charter, or most of the cases, separate charter is documented or issued. Some cases, as I mentioned yesterday, the contract can also act as an HR. What does that mean? It means this is not a in-house project, but the project has been assigned to somebody, some outside party, outside, you can say a consultant, project consultant, or project management consultant, isn't it? So based on the need, you have prepared the business case which has been approved. So project charter issued by the company would act as an at contractual obligation for you also. So this could be charter possibility. So as you can see, friends, very importantly, the way management looks at it, okay, where how much could be the maximum optimum allocation of resources, whatever resources you may need, but there could be difference, isn't it? Because the organization has more responsibilities to handle, okay, without looking in at the project in isolation. You look at the project only, that yes, I this is my project, and this is going to be deliverable. To make it delivered, to get delivered at this pace and time, okay, you will need some ideal resources, which may not be a case for the company or the organization. So they may have their own specific obligations. Out of that obligations, some resources, okay, could be allocated for this particular project. Thus forms the link between the project and ongoing, because they need to look at the ongoing work, ongoing activity of the organization. Okay, so for them, this project is going to be an additional endeavor, additional venture for them. For that, they will whatever resource they find fit will be allocated. Now, please remember, friends, who could be responsible for issuing of the project charter. In most of these principles of project management, the sponsor is responsible to issue the project charter. Now, who is sponsor? Again, we are going to discuss the stakeholders or the interested parties. In this case, the sponsor could be the management of your organization themselves, or some committee, separate committee of the management responsible to take care of the project could be a sponsor, or anybody, any equity holder, or any outside agency who is ready to invest, okay, for this project could be a sponsor also. So okay, the role of the sponsor would vary, but yes, primarily technically the sponsor could be the ultimately responsible to issue the project charter. Some cases, if you handle the project for maybe other agency like government agency, department, funding agency also, in that case, it is possible that project charter can be issued by some another person, or the person or the committee or some agency specifically given the authority to evaluate and issue the project charter. So instead of government themselves, they'll assign that responsibility to third party, to another party or agency who will be issuing the project charter. Okay, so these are very simple understanding of what project charter could be. Then let's see normally what should be there in the project charter? What should be the minimum content of project charter? Contents of project charter. So here, friends, you have an opportunity to compare the project charter with the business case. How far this will differ? Definitely, yes. Because the project charter has a macro view. Okay, macro view, mega view compared to the business case. Business case definitely prepared by you. Okay, looking at the macro, each and every micro management aspect as such, unlike the project charter. Now, project charter certainly we will have a overall mission statement of the organization, their overall direction, theme, and the spirit of the organizations. That's why I said for this project also they will see that this project is very closely aligned with the vision and mission of the organization also. Like the project manager, so here also the way the business need has been felt by the organization will be mentioned in the project chapter as well. Okay, why there is need, the way you have mentioned also. This could be different perspective or maybe slightly a mega perspective, macro perspective by the organization, why they need such a project, or what way this is going to help the ongoing activities as well as the image of the industry also. So likewise, how you justify? Okay, this justification again of the project from the sponsor could be different than your justification. Okay, and what are the results of feasibility study? Okay, so based on your feasibility, okay, the competent authority or sponsor again they may have a more realistic feasibility done for this project as well. Expected investment required, okay, from the viewpoint of the sponsor or higher organization management, they'll put up somewhere it will have a variance from what you have worked out. Okay, most of the times the investment what has been approved through project charter could be lesser than what you have projected in business case, is a fact. Okay, then customer requirement and experience. So while you put look at the business need, also we look at through this project what are the specific expectations and requirements which could be fulfilled. Okay, which will be mentioned in the project charter. How far, in what way the company or the firm organization would be responsible to fulfill, understand the requirement and expectation would be fulfilled of the project. Likely shareholder stakeholder influences. As I mentioned, there are variety of stakeholders, okay, in the industry and project also. So this will be mentioned in the project charter. What could be the positive influence, active influence, or participation of the stakeholder possible, likely into the project, expected, right? And of course, here also, project charter will also mention the broader outline of the risk, the way you have more linearly worked it out. Okay, so here you can see the broader outline of the risk which the industry may face or you may face while going through the project. Okay, friends, this is all about a project charter. So this is a sequential activity after the business case has been prepared and submitted, presented, and approved by the management or the sponsor, which comes out in the form of friends. One few points you must remember. Normally, both business case and project charter happen to be highly confidential document, very confidential document. The contents should be known with the to the concerned people, concerned group in the industry. More so in case of project charter, even though you are responsible to take forward the project and the responsibility also. So all the contents are very well known to you. The philosophy on which the project charter has been built also known to you, but not to everybody. That's why please remember, normally the project charter as well as business case happen to be highly confidential activity, which speaks of the prospects, future prospects, or maybe expected returns, or maybe the existing philosophy also, which could be very true and very close to the industry also, should not be widely known to the outsiders. Okay, this is about the project charter. Let's go ahead. What you have to do next once you get the project charter or the document as this is an official authorized document, but should be very clearly held by you. Okay, the example of the charter. Again, this is also very popular you can say case in the form of project chart. This has been approved project chart. except that I have not shown the name of the company for the sake of some secrecy. But otherwise, everything is same. Look at the stakeholders, and yeah, here very interestingly, friends, the client is also one of the stakeholders. That's what indicates the amount of influence what he has on the project. Look at the milestone schedule. Okay, at what date? Okay, by what date? What we are going to finish complete? So there are milestone schedules. That's what we also need to do. For every milestone stage to reach, you should have a action plan. Look at the project budget approved by the sponsor or the management. So, friend, here one more thing you will always find it interesting, which you also should give a scope, okay, provision into project. That even though suppose here the project is say $1 million, okay, so you may feel that if something, if the time comes, if the situation comes, I need to make provision for additional allowance. This is something called allowance in the form of reserves, some reserves which may be required as an contingency, as an emergency reserve also. uh, what I have experienced many cases, project managers shy away. Okay, they keep themselves shy that why, if whether I can make a provision or not, whether it will be accepted, how I can justify the requirement of the contingencies or reserve also. But it makes really fair picture. You feel that okay, fine. Suppose my cost could be a 1 million if everything goes right, or if all the activities are on the right path. But if something goes haywire here and there, okay, then for that case, instead of again recasting, reformulation of the project business case, it's better to have you can say modest provision of resource. Modest provision of resource. This can happen, and many of you must have experienced. There could be cases where there is a time overrun. Time overrun may happen, not much, but slight time overrun happen. Many cases time overrun has an impact on the cost overrun also. Okay, that's why it makes it very pertinent for you to logically think over and make some provision for as a contingency reserve, or you can say contingency reserve. That's why in this project the contingency reserve and management reserve also has been approved. Okay, so in your case this may or may not be approved, but you should be bold enough to keep to maintain that provision while discussing about the cost also, overall cost plus some contingency also. So this is a very business case, friends, a very popular business case where not only contingency reserve, which is normal $50,000, but in case of emergency, okay, extreme emergency, um, which should not be required, which may not be needed also, but still, project charter has shown the management reserve, additional management reserve of $50,000 as well. Okay, but in your case, you can have overall reserve. Normally, as per my experience, the percentage of reserve overall aggregate reserve should be in the range of 5 to 8%. Okay, compared to the total cost. Okay, total cost. The contingency reserve should not be more than 5 to 8%. Maybe depend, but should not be exceed. Otherwise, there could be questions asked why you need so much of reserve, and why you cannot manage the project within so much of cost, allocated cost. Okay, so this is all about the budgeting and additional budget for in the form of reserve as well. Look at the assumptions. So as to go ahead, what could be the prior requirements the project manager may need, and what could be possible constraint, showstoppers, blocks, some blocks, active action blocks would be there.
Sir, what is the percentage you told as a buffer?
Normally, buffer could be between 5 to 8%, sir, of the
5 to
cost.
8%.
So $100, ₹100, then on an average 5% to 8%.
5 to
There
8.
has been
Okay.
there has been aberration to keep around 10% as such, but you need to justify why 10%, why not more, why should not be 5%. This is the question I can ask. There should be valid and logical reason for keeping that risk.
Then
Is this an ideal template for business case?
You can see this is an ideal one of the so that's what we normally follow, not template as such, but just to give broader ideas, sir,
Okay.
about the charter.
Because the mission and vision is missing in this.
I'm sorry.
Because the mission and vision is missing in this.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Here may not be. Yes. What should be? That's what ideally what should be the content we discuss. These are actual project charter that may not have, they may not have felt the need. Yes, but better to have. Absolutely correct.
Okay, okay.
Great.
Sir, this
Please.
project, being a project manager, the project manager will have certain rights to do the negotiation
That,
about
yeah,
the.
absolutely. Not
Okay,
right,
so
but you have you being in charge to lead the project. Okay, you must discuss that. Except that this will be a management prerogative whether to allow anything or not, isn't it? That's
so
the
the
reason.
project manager can discuss with the PMO or the higher officials.
Yeah. So here I mentioned PM also. Here the PMO is a sponsor. We can assure
Okay,
he's a sponsor.
okay,
He's the person who is heading the stakeholder committee. You can see, or the list
okay.
of stakeholders is leading. So he has
Uh-huh.
upper voice. So he can definitely cause a question. He could be the authority with the consent of other stakeholders. Okay, he has approved the project chart.
So usually, sir, top of the project manager in the hierarchy, to whom a particular project manager can discuss about the
Depends on the.
budgets.
Yeah, good point. Very good point. This should depend on the size of the organization. Suppose it's a mid-level organization, mid-size organization. You being a PM, you could be directly reporting to the managing director or chairman or president of the organization. Otherwise, in a large organization, there could be committees. Okay, so below the top management, there could be some committee has been formed specifically to look into the project and its need and its administration control also. So in that case, you could be reporting to the committee, project management committee. As
Got it.
yeah.
And sir, if any requirement creep is happening, in that case, it will comes under the contingency reserve, or we have to have the separate discussion for the requirement creep.
We are discussing. We are going to have very interesting term is there. So for the sake of our information for all, I mentioned I have included into the training, sir. We are going to
Sure,
discuss
sir.
that.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah,
Please
certainly.
proceed.
Good. Okay, friends, let's go ahead. Okay, so one more point. I'll say is a part of the project charter. Sorry, this could be on the same slide, but yes, this charter has given enough scope for the project risk also. And very funny, you can see what could be possible risk. Okay, so once this is approved, let's assume that we are through with the project charter. We are holding this project charter. What is that? What is next step? Okay, so when we look at this actionable at your end, friends. Okay, so that's what I have experienced. Few experience while you prepare the business case, while you discuss the business case and get the approval from the project charter. What could be the experience? This is what I experienced. Many cases, there's a feel of uncertainty. Even if you have prepared it very well, scientifically done, but there could be a feel of uncertainty. You don't have confidence that whether the company or the organization is definitely going with the project or not, whether they are really concerned about the timelines or not. So some level of uncertainty should not be there. That's what I have experienced, friends. Okay. Sometimes information which has come up either through business case or in project charter is not available at all. Supporting available. That's why we discuss about the basis assumption. Okay. If the case is not based on certain assumption, okay, this could be sketchy also, right? So may not put adequate light on the facts and figures. Same is the case in the project chart also. Okay, the information given to you could be sketchy, ambiguous, vague. Okay, should or some data not available at all for you accessible. Very importantly, very importantly, you find that based on the project charter which has come up to you, maybe as a surprise, you find that whatever has been expected from the interested party or the stakeholders or the customer may not be possible at all. Okay, or could be unrealistic for you also. Okay, friends, this could very much damaging, very damaging. So in that case, you'll understand why I mentioned that also. In that case, you must have your own voice and very, very clear voice. Okay, saying that this okay, sir, all rest, all this could be adjusted. Okay, this could be done definitely within the given timelines, given the budget also. But this thing, the way the expectations are put up, okay, they are not to be going to be achieved, or they are unrealistic, right? So that you should be candid enough to put forth your voice and make it very, very clear. Otherwise, it can pose yourself into higher dimensions of trouble, okay, higher dimensions of risk, stress. Okay, that should not happen at this stage. That's why I mentioned few points to it. At the point, at the stage where you get the project charter, you may come across this one. So there should be enough scope to have your voice heard by the competent authority. Okay, and definitely there should be some scope to revise, rework the project charter also in a more revised, more linear form, more clear form also. Okay, friends. So at this stage, it's your responsibility to make it clear that the project is a shared vision for everybody. Shared vision. Okay. So what do you need to do, friends? So as I said, project charter is well understood. It has come to you and is confidential. Again, obviously, you cannot discuss project charter as it is with your team. That's why one more very, very prime responsibility on you. Okay. And again, this will showcase your skill based on the project charter. Exactly based on the project charter, you have to prepare your own action plan, time wise action plan, wise action plan. Okay, this is something called a PMP, project management plan. Management plan is a detailed working and action plan prepared by you, which is drafted and developed and of course finalized by you. Okay. And friends, in contrast to the project charter, PMP is an open document. PMP is a document which is quite transparent. Okay, this should be made available. Okay, with the team, every team member. Okay, and you discuss also very openly. Okay, that's why this PMP could be of different form, friends. Either depending on the tenure, this could be full plan, entire plan, end to end plan, or otherwise depending on the period. Suppose it's maybe 2 years, 3-year project. Then in that case, you may not be in a position to minutely work out the PMP. Okay, so in that case, you can prepare the PMP stepwise, stage wise, which will take care of certain deliverables at a milestone stages. This is what we call as a rolling wave plan as per the progress. Okay, this could be so that you have to decide whether you are competent enough to prepare the detailed plan, action plan for the entire project period, or you would like to split that plan into different periods, different stages, milestone stage. Okay, once it is ready, friend, then it's a time to get the team together. Okay, call the team, discuss in detail with each and every team member, set out formally, launch the project. Also, you need to clarify the role of each team member. For that, this is something called a kickoff meeting. Many of you must be aware. Okay, very, very a significant stage. Okay, prior to getting into the implementation of the project, friends. Okay, so this is what would be your action here. So based on the project charter, you will prepare your own plan, own action plan, more detailed. Okay, WBS, period-wise plan, phase-wise plan, phase-wise, okay, activity-wise also, and get it open, get it thrown to the team member, make it understood by each one. Okay, threadbare, detail. We can say a series of discussions should take place, and make the team role clear to everybody. That's what about the
Sir,
post.
excuse
Yes,
me,
sir.
sir. May I have some question, please? Yeah, sir. My question is like when we are doing the being a project manager, if you are doing the project planning,
Yeah,
and then in project planning, we may have to follow certain methodology. Like if I'm talking about if I'm a project manager in an IT company, then
yeah,
agile framework. Suppose I'm following as
correct.
a methodology, and in that I am doing that all kind of planning. And
Okay,
then when the the WBS and work distribution for each engineers or person is required to assign by manager, project
perfect.
manager. And then in that case, my question is, how much a project manager should have the domain and technical knowledge to distribute the task? Because as per my understanding, there is some software architect or some other technical guys who has given the abstract high level architecture of a particular application.
Perfect.
And then I, then again, being a project manager, I have to assign the task. Then how much difficult it is and how it should be executed.
Good
Yes,
one.
sir.
Very good question. Good question. And make it, of course, anyway, we are going to discuss the role and responsibility of the project manager in more detail. But at this point of time, since you have raised a very precise question, let me tell you, you being an architect, you being an key person of the project as a project manager. So I'm assuming that you are most competent to look into the technicalities as well as competency, technical competency as well as knowledge also, because you are responsible not only to allocate, but also in case of any exigency, anything going wrong, anywhere it is deviating from the main line, isn't it? There you have to catch, you have to arrest those points. So I'm assuming that if I'm project manager, I'm assuming ideally that yes, I'm competent enough, even though I'm not going to do it everything myself, but that's what you, because of having this competency with you, you are the person you authorize and understand as to whom what is to be given. Okay, what is the competency level, skill set of each team member as such, depending on, because you know the significance, you know the criticality of the each function, each application. Accordingly, you have to select, you have to train, and then allocate the work to each of them. It is absolutely expected that you, being a key person, theme, send focal person to the project, you must have that competency. Not only as a leader, you are not only the manager of the project. Okay, so you are in charge of the project also. When I say we have to manage, but yes, it is expected that at least at your level, for any rescue, for any issue, okay, the buck should stop at your level. You should not again refer to anybody unless it is very very specific.
Yes, sir.
That's what I
Yeah,
Yeah,
expect.
thanks.
Good.
as per my understanding on this question, I just wanted to put my words. Uh, Whenever we are leading a project, as a project manager, it should not be that project manager has to get in a very in detail or in depth knowledge, or very get knowledge till a very niche level. But if he is leading the project, he should have an overall knowledge for each of the processes that all the engineers or all the guys or all the associates are doing. He should be thoroughly aware, so that whenever there is an issue, he knows where we have to catch it and where we have to reach to get it rectified. Right.
Thank
It
you.
will be the engineers who will be resolving the issue, but we are to highlight who will resolve this issue and how. So that is the main thing.
Okay,
If you
fine.
know in and out, so that
Fine.
would be
What
good
I
enough.
understood and what I experienced, you have your own views. You can definitely, yes. But while we look at the expectation, what the management or the customer has, okay. So for
Uh-huh.
that, they're always looking at you, and the amount of experience you carry, okay, the amount of length of experience you carry. It is expected that you have gone through all the stages. Okay, so
Mhm.
you suppose your team leader is there. Okay, so you have been team leader some point of time, so at that level, you quite granularly, quite in detail, depth. You already worked on it. That is the reason that the management has found you quite fit, quite competent,
Correct.
having a
Correct.
comprehensive knowledge. Yeah, it's absolutely okay that even though with all the upcoming skills of today, you may not be abreast of it, but yes, at least having worked in this area for so many years or whatever length you have, is expected that you should have a comprehensive setup of knowledge. This is expected. It's expected, not because I'm saying it has been largely expected by the management or the customer also. Why project? Because the management will find that okay, I have a person who is competent enough, okay, and have a comprehensive knowledge to look into all those areas. Okay, even though you may not be updated in the
Agree.
latest areas of today, but yes, you know it. you know how to get it done from the team member, and you are, or for any issue. That's what I said. Why suppose when I have been my project manager, I'm confident yet okay, anything issue is there, please get back to me. Beyond that, I will see that the issue may not go beyond my level. So that's why we always say in any project that any issue, any bug, it should stop here, nothing beyond that. This ideal is expected. But as you see it, fine. Yes, somewhere you find that okay, if the project are not too much of technicality, and if you have handled, fine. You may not be you can say expert in all areas, but you are, if you are confident, yes, this area, yes, I have a team member, and I know how to get, how to manage to get the things done from anybody. That will also work. Fine, absolutely. This is what is ideally expected, the skill set uh, um, from you, okay, from the organization also. Thank you. So let's go ahead, friends. Good discussion. Okay, now about the success of the project, how you are going to gauge, okay, gauge of the success of the work. What is that stage that you look at it as success? Yes, my team, my project has been successful. Okay, there are perceptions. Okay, so broadly I have mentioned that any appreciation of the PM results by the concerned party, concerned customer, or maybe any stakeholder, if they appreciate also, that could be a success, but it is very broad. Only appreciation may not bring a success. Okay, so broadly what I see that if you are successful in achieving all the aims of the project, whatever aims, objectives, based on which the project was based, okay, even though within the constraint you had constraint, maybe some time constraint, timelines, cost, etc., still if you could achieve it, okay, if you would have achieved the broad aims, objective of the project, this could be success also. Or in other words, if you could fulfill the business needs, so whatever business need I had or the management had, okay, they are put up before you. If those have been fulfilled by you, okay, in the project, again, this could be success also. So there are different parties, friend. Very interesting. Various interested parties, they have different perception of looking at the success. So for them, a different criteria, friend. I hope whenever you will be working on some project, okay, one of the success criteria would be fit for you. Okay, so that's why different success criteria you can have a look. Business objective for undertaking the project. So whatever objective we have, that's what I will discuss. Okay. Aim, what was the aim or objective for which we had instituted the project has been fulfilled. It means my project is successful. Key deliverables, specific deliverables, whatever deliverables were expected, designed into project, if those have been delivered, then that is would be success. Or key parameters, specific parameters, measure technically. Okay, this could be like time and cost. If you could fulfill the expectation, even looking at the time and cost also, okay, then that could be success. If customer, broadly, if the customer is satisfied, that's it. Okay, that could be one of the key determinant of the success of the project also. Quality specific is not only you have satisfied the customer, but you could satisfy him along with the attaining the quality standards specification also could be success. And lastly, you can say all the KPIs, whatever KPIs were allocated to the team, to you, okay, for this project, key performance indicator, okay, if those have been fulfilled, okay, then again that could be gross the success. Definitely, you see that okay, this was my chart. This chart was drafted for me and for all my team members also. If when I measure the success, when I measure the output, which is exactly matching the chart KPIs, now you can say yes, this is exactly matching. Why not? I can call this as a successful project also. Okay. So this is what would be perception of the looking at the project, friends. Let us go ahead. We come to a very very interesting concept, okay, which I have been referring since yesterday also. Any project or looking at the significance and key line, okay, theme line of the project, there are various parties involved. Okay, so it's not a stand alone activity, friends. Okay,
Sir,
always as we
sorry
have seen.
to
Hello.
sorry to interrupt. Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
please.
Sorry to interrupt. Sir, coming back to this last slide, success of the
You
project.
want me to go back?
Yeah, I just had one question about that
Sure, sure.
slide.
Yeah. Yeah,
When we
please.
say success of the project, you mean to say post launch, how much months can you say the project, or how can the charter of the project or the product manager justify the project is success? Now take an example of a product is recently launched in this month. Many
Okay.
times it happens that the failure rate of the product is very high after a period of 3 months, 6 months.
Okay.
So how do you justify the success of the project?
Partially, you have been successful, but not fully.
Not fully, right?
Yeah. So, despite some constraint, whatever, you can say the success may not be 100%. I would say, on positive note, yes, it has been successful, but subject to. So, there is something into the bracket also. Subject to
Yeah,
one,
but
two parameters not
based
fulfilled.
on the actual, sir, based on the
It
HOD
it's
or
possible that the project might get delayed or might get derailed at the end. It's possible.
That could be possible. In many cases, it
Yeah,
happens.
that is condition. Yeah,
So,
I'm
you can
agreeing
say
to your
it's
point. Yeah,
successful. Okay. But this could be a conditional success. So,
okay,
so for example, you're
correct.
supposed to do it
Conditional.
in 90 days. It went on for 120 days. Okay, so
120, it could
90
be
to
any day.
120, definitely there are some additional expenses, additional expenditure, went on, maybe somewhere marginal, isn't it? So I would say
Yes.
if I have been in charge of the industry, I would say yes, you could do it. Okay, fine. But there are some dotted lines. Okay, but that could
So,
take some extra time. Okay, so this could be a takeaways for you. May not be 100%
okay,
success, partial success, I would say.
okay, okay.
Am I making it the point clear, sir?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Can you go ahead?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. So, friends, a very important point what we're discussing that there is a universe, okay, there's a world around you. You being at the center of any project activity, you're always surrounded by so many agencies, people. We can call them as an interested parties, or they are called as stakeholders also. That's why I mentioned here all the individuals or maybe agencies, organizations, any such communities also, specific business communities concerned, which are directly involved into the project, or those either involved or those are affected, okay, by the project activity. Those we can call them broadly as an interested party or stakeholders also. Okay, so just for example, I mentioned here this could be project sponsor, etc. So let's look at this sphere, friends. Very important sphere or circle as such, which would make the point more clear for you. How far, how close could be the stakeholders? What way, how much they are closer to the project, or how far they are from the project also. I think this could be this circle is very very pertinent to understand the concept of stakeholders. Look at the picture, friends. Of course, at the center, you are there. You are taking up, and you have a challenging assignment of being in charge of the project. Okay, surrounding you, friends, very closely connected. You can see very close. The closeness also touch basing you is a project sponsor. That's where the it makes the role of the project sponsor or the stakeholders very very particular, very very particular, very important also, right? And again, beyond our surrounding with you, there's a project management team. Project management team could be the part of the organization who have been given the responsibility to monitor your activities, to monitor your day-to-day performance. Okay, that's why the team is there. So that is where the project management team is very close to peer project manager, right? Outside that circle, now you can see where you are working with your team. Okay, so first, the concern very close party attached to the project, it will be project sponsor, then project management, if at all this team is there. If such team is not there, then project sponsor could be the sole responsibility to monitor, okay, to monitor and supervise your activities, and of course influence and guide also. Outside that circle would be your team, project team. Again, they are also, okay, relatively closely connected with the team. On the either side, friends, you'll understand find it interesting that there are suppliers on one side. Suppliers definitely they are part of the project, so they are part of they play a role of some stake. They carry some stake. Also, they are interested parties because unless and until we get supplies, we get raw material, or we get whatever material we need, spares, stores, machineries, they are going to be a supplier. That's why they are also key stakeholders for me. Okay. On the right hand side, also touch basing the circle along with my team, project team, are the vendors. Okay, the vendors equally important. Those could be my logistic agencies, could be my freight agencies, freight forwarders, or maybe courier service. Okay, transporters, um, service vendors, you can say maintenance activities, maintenance vendors, or you can say repairs and maintenance, okay, warehouse maintenance, etc., etc. Those could be vendors providing me services. Okay, so something called we have a arrangement of vendorization. Okay, so suppliers on one side and of vendor also, they are also connected. They are integral part of my project, right? So they are connected with that. Then there are two types of you can say organizations could be stakeholders. Yes and no, but could be. Okay, when under customers friends. So as I said, many times customer also could be a stakeholders, maybe not close, but maybe outside somewhere touch base in my activities. Okay, touch base in my activities, maybe senior management. In case I'm assuming here that why senior management is so far, quite far, because the project management team is there. So indirectly they are my customers. Influencers. Who are the influencers, friend? Influencers could be in the form of, you can say, guidance, or my gurus, or somewhere from where I can take a cues. Okay, so they are my guides. Okay, my guides, influencers, positive influence they are putting. End users normally, friends, as you'll find, end users may not be in touch with me directly because I am responsible to my customer directly, and my customer would be responsible for the end users, final customer also. Okay, but somewhere indirectly there could be end users. PMO, project management organizations. So those could be independent agencies, maybe in case of normally government agencies, or maybe government departments, okay, where the monitoring part has been given to PMOs. In that case, it could be given. This is more prevalent into European countries, where I have seen. Okay, so apart from the senior management, most of the responsibility has been given to the third party agency in the form of PMOs. Okay, they have been given the responsibility. Other end, you can see the performing organizations, my existing organization. Okay, so if I'm running the project for my own organization, so of course performing organization also could be my stakeholder. Then functional management, that's what functional management, or maybe senior anyway, any form within the performing organization. If the PMO is there, if it has been appointed, also could be there. Okay, so friends, largely this is the, you can say, sphere wheel, okay, or wagon wheel, which shows the closeness or their existence into the project, and in the form of stakeholders. Okay, going ahead, let's understand what is your specific and strategic role, okay, as a PM, to understand, analyze, and manage stakeholders. Okay, let's go ahead with this understanding. We'll go ahead in depth to understand, analyze the stakeholders. For because I have wide experience in managing this. What I have experienced, friends, few of you may agree with me that to the extent we look at the stakeholders and expect from them, okay, that doesn't happen. Okay, so project manager, many cases, majority cases, the project manager and the stakeholder, they are working silos. They are working silos independently. So to the extent I expect the interaction happening, okay, that doesn't happen. Okay, it doesn't happen. That's why I have some actionables, okay, which could be you can say enabler for you, guidance for you also. That's why I've made it quite detailed. Let's understand. First part is about analyzing, understanding the stakeholder, analyzing the stakeholder. Okay, what you need to do. So initially itself, you have to understand and prepare the list of all the stakeholders. Okay, either for very close, very far, whatever way, and then you can assign the priority for them. Okay, so maintain the record. okay, through preparing the list of all the stakeholders. Try to know them better, analyze their interest, their requirement, and their expectation from you and from this project also. Also understand each stakeholder's key requirement, not only normal requirement. If some key holders they have specific key requirements from you, please try to understand in a better way. Okay. Communicate any requirement that cannot be fulfilled. I have already mentioned. Once you understand that, okay, these are the key holders, these are the key stakeholders, and this is my expectation, please make it very, very clear through transparent communication that out of 10 things, okay, 9 given to you as a part of the project, this requirement cannot be fulfilled, may not be possible for you to fulfill. Please make it sure it's at initial stage. That will impose a clarity and transparency of communication with the stakeholder. Identify potential impact or support the stakeholder. Can very, very important, friends. While you are trying to analyze and understand the stakeholder, please see that what is the potential he has, or what is the potential impact support you can derive, you can expect from him. Okay, so that's very, very important. Then how you have to manage the stakeholder management. Next step, once you understand that, okay, this is a project and these are the stakeholders, identify how the project will affect the stakeholder. In this case, I'm assuming the stakeholder could be directly or indirectly connected with the customer. So you have to see that how your project and your activities will affect the stakeholder. Okay. Other hand, you identify how the stakeholders could affect the project, how they can involve their expertise, their resources, their involvement can affect the project activities. Okay, looking at this impact, develop approaches to effectively engage. This is very important for it. Uh, Normally, that doesn't happen in any project what I've seen. That's why this is very, very important action for you. Try to see that, develop the approach. Okay, develop the strategy. Try to develop the strategy which would effectively engage the stakeholder. You can orient his engagement more into the project. Okay, managing stakeholder expected to achieve the project. Okay, so in what best way you have to manage his stakeholder expectation so as to achieve the ultimate objective of the project. Maintain relationship between external stakeholders and the project team. Again, this is also very challenging. When you maintain the relationship with the stakeholder, regular, cordial way, then the stakeholder can also engage with the project team as well. Not only limited to you, but to the extent required, the stakeholders can engage, okay, or can involve with the project team also. Okay, why? Because the aim is to satisfy the stakeholders within the project boundaries. What are the boundaries? Okay, which have been crafted by you within that project boundaries and responsibilities. Okay, your aim should be to satisfy the stakeholder. Okay, also based on this, okay, do's and don'ts. Few do's and don'ts for how you should manage the stakeholder. Encourage engagement with the stakeholder. We already mentioned encourage always. Okay, that what way I can engage, what his engagement, his expertise, okay, his experience can add values to the project. Often conflicting interest. Again, I mentioned that because maybe again out of my experience. Okay, anywhere, somewhere, very small scale conflict could be there, misunderstanding could be there. Okay, or conflicting interest would be there. Okay, should be managed, resolved then and there itself. Whenever you find that there could be some scope place for such a conflict, should be nullified, managed then and there itself. Is also going to be an utter skill of the PM. Effective communication should be is absolutely key, friends. Okay, is absolutely key and secret for you. Okay, you initiate, build and build up and maintain the effective communication. Going to be a key technique of stakeholders management for managing the stakeholder. That's why engagement of stakeholder with the project activities and decisions is the second. Engage all the stakeholders with the regular not day to day but regular, getting them appraised, getting the report of the project active going on is absolutely one of the keys for you, key technique for you also. Okay, so I think I have prepared this strategy based on a varied experience with varied people, varied stakeholder also. Somewhere I think that could work out for you also. Okay.
Sir, I have one question.
Yeah, please, sir.
Sir, when we discussed earlier about contents of project charter, right?
Okay. Uh-huh.
So, you mean to say it could be the stakeholder could also be a project charter?
Yes and no, given the role. So, for example, say for example, very simple, that suppose the sponsor is the investor, equity holder. He has shown interest. He has okay, he is very much interested with this project, very close to his heart. That's why he is very keen, and he has invested, or he is going to invest a lump sum amount into the project. So he could be the not only the sponsor, but he could be one of the key stakeholder. Definitely yes,
Okay.
and he could be responsible to issue the project charter as per his requirements.
Yeah, but how about in an organization where we have the CEO, below
Yeah,
CEO we have the HOD, and then below HOD we have the product manager. In that
correct.
case, who is the stakeholder?
Given the responsibility, so for all practical purpose, I feel given the structure what you have been talking about, the CEO could be the stakeholder ultimately,
Okay. Ultimately, yes.
isn't it? Even though
Yeah.
he could be assigning some responsibility. That's why for the success or the ongoing activities of the project, your product manager or maybe deputy CEO and CEO would form a committee. That's what I said. Okay, they could be having a role into as a project committee, and then everybody has a role. But ultimately, I feel that your CEO could be the ultimate stakeholder. I feel so. For whom you are responsible, you carry more responsibility.
But
This
sir,
approach that could be done.
below
Yes.
CEO, there is the CTO also, if I
Okay.
say. So,
Okay.
and below CTO, there is a process, there is a strict flow of the PM.
Correct. So that's why I
So,
said it all depends on the interest. It all depends on the responsibility. It all depends on the expertise who has. So many times, what I have seen, if it is a pure technology project, there is a CEO
yes,
also and there's CTO also. So in that
yes,
case, the CTO could be the major stakeholder, sir.
okay,
Even though CEO could
yes,
be on a higher scale.
higher scale, yes,
Yeah. So in that case, the CTO could be a more appropriate stakeholder for your project.
okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Good question. Your practical.
Yeah, sorry for interruption, sir. One quick question, sir.
Yeah, please,
Sir,
please.
sir, being a project manager, suppose I am joining a company and I have assigned a project very recently, for example, and then what are the inputs I'll get it in the form of the documents or diagrams to start the project? What are the initial input I
You
supposed to
must
get?
have everything. That's why I said when you are there as a PM to fulfill the expectation from the customer or from the senior management, you are quite new one. Now you are quite competent PM, right? You understand what is expected. So as to fulfill that expectation, you need a lot of record, document, isn't it? You need to this. So these are going to be your requirements. So whenever you prepare the business case, you must spell out, so as to fulfill this project, sir, I will need this much. I will need, these are the supporting document, basic document, background, to understand the background of the company, to see the background of the project range, product range, who are the customers. Okay, these are the essential input you must have, and this could be part of your business case only.
Yeah, sir. And one quick more question is like in this program, is we have any hands-on kind of things where we can have the project plan, because project plan is the very essential and sensitive document which a project manager should prepare to execute the project throughout the life
Which
cycle.
document you said, sir?
Project planning, sir, including that assignment of the job, WBS for breakdown
Yes,
structure and all
yes,
of it.
yes, 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 yes. So we have been discussing all the document also, but specifically, you wish to have a set of document. You mean?
Yes, sir. As a case
Okay, okay. I
study
have
or example.
some case studies. Definitely, after the program is over, I can share with you for everybody. Good point. What could be the, you can say,
Yes, sir.
you can say package, isn't it? What is the package of info you must have, or what could be the minimum package of the document you must have? That's what you mean,
Yeah,
right?
and the entire flow and how to break down the structure of the work and all of it. And if you can explain 10 to 15 minutes, a case study document which you will share, that will be a great for
I
all
have
of
a,
us.
maybe tomorrow, as I discussed yesterday, one very challenging case, okay, challenging project. What I have handled. I was one of the project in charge, right? So we are driven the project very quite successfully, and of all the inputs, all the principles what we have been talking about, we are tried to incorporate into that project. Okay, and that's why of course somewhere we could get the success also. I think that story could put good perspective for you. Okay, we are going to discuss that case study tomorrow.
Thank you, sir.
How we understood what was the requirement from the owners or from the stakeholders. Everything we'll discuss that, right? This is one of the stories, but other than that, looking at whatever area you are from, what is segment you are from. Okay, definitely you can ask me any point of time, because I have handled with various projects, almost different, more than 40-45 different areas, segments as such. So certainly whatever area you can spell out, I can spare that project case study also for you. One case study minimum we are definitely going to discuss tomorrow. Will it be okay?
Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
If it is related to the IT, I guess it will
I'm
be.
sorry.
If it is related to the IT case study, software
Okay, fine. Just
development,
spell it out. Just okay. You can mention.
yeah, sure,
We have a lot of projects we have done in IT.
sure, sure.
Thank you. Great. Thank you, friends. Let's go ahead. So, as my friend was discussing, what are the project requirement and objectives? Okay, we spells out what is to be done in the project and what is the objective. Business case, certainly, which is owned by the sponsor, and sponsor is also responsible for its development or support as well, which is a key document in the project which shows the justification for undertaking the project. What is charter after all? This is a key document, okay, which tries to find out solution as to why this project need, why we should go ahead, and why it is going to gain bring about substantial gain into the project also. Okay, let's go ahead. Give me 1 second. Let me share. Okay, friends. So I tossed this term some time back. So we discuss about financial and non-financial appraisal as such, right? So how this could be appraised, because this is somewhere a justification for the project or justification of the investment being made. You have to showcase that yes, whatever investment has been done into this project is worth of its outcome, is worth of its output. Okay, at the end of the project. For that, there are well-known techniques, okay, of investment appraisal, okay, or financial appraisal also. You can see two types of appraisal. There one is financial appraisal. Oh, sorry, one is non-financial factor. Let's look at the non-financial appraisal, friends. Okay, so while we put up various factors, okay, or various analysis of non-financial factor, what it should focus, the few tidbits on this. First, you need to present yourself to see that out of this project, okay, it has an operational survival. What does that mean? It means looking at the projection what we are going to showcase, okay, this will have this outcome will have addition to the operations, addition to the existing range, and it will survive for longer time. It has an optimum range of survival, operational survival. That's what we have to analyze as. Okay, so we find that, okay, suppose there is a food product, you're coming out with the project with the food product assets. So you must justify that how long, what is going to be utility of this product, looking at the customer at large or the consumer at large. What is going to be the age of its utility, how this product can survive over a period of time, is something called as operational survival. Then competitive position, very very difficult study frame, very difficult. I must say, I must tell you, to put up these facts. Okay, as a competitive position is very very difficult. What does that mean, friends? Even though I mentioned that any two projects cannot be identical, or may not be identical. Otherwise, this could not be called as a project. But suppose you have one project. Let's take a case of IT project. Okay, so you got some requirement from the customer, and you are going to work on that solution, IT solution for the project. Maybe not exactly same, but some other customer is working on the same project. Okay, broadly same project. The scope could be different, the methodology could be different, the manner could be different, and the costing could be different. But you find that somewhere it's a competitive project, and being worked out by some competitors. Okay, in say, for example, in IT project. So this could be a very intelligent part on your part to find out how you are competitively based. What is your competitive position? Maybe in terms of the nitty-gritties of, or you can say qualities, what you are going to gain, or maybe a better quality, better output. Okay, or maybe more sharpen outcome what you may have compared to that project, or cost wise project, your product is going to be more cost competitive, or time in terms of timelines. Okay, you have better timelines, or maybe the manpower you have, whatever way. So these are all the factors which would decide that your project is more competitive compared to the competitors, some companies, some other companies. So if to the extent possible, I know this could be very difficult, that's why I said, to the extent possible, you must put up the comparative figures, comparative data for this. Okay, how your project will have fair estimation compared to the competitor. Okay, this is something called as non-financial, one of the non-financial factors in the form of competitive analysis. Comparative analysis, slightly different. What is comparative analysis? Comparative analysis would be the data, friends, within the industry. Okay, suppose that our industry or your company well known, they always come out with a lot of such projects also, right? So a company has a history of projects which have been executed, right? So while putting up the business case for this project, okay, you have to compare this project along with the comparison of other earlier projects. Okay, so this project, how they are compared with the earlier project which have been executed, or maybe there are projects which have been failed. Okay, which could not be completed. So you need to have a fair comparative analysis of this project in relation to the earlier project which company has already done in the past, right? That must have a fair comparison as far as this comparative analysis is concerned. So these are all few tidbits, you can say, few action in terms of non-financial factors. More particularly, when we look at the financial viability, financial factors, there are so many well-known techniques, friends, very well-known techniques. Okay, and these are globally observed even today also. Few of them I mentioned. Payback period, very simple. We are going to discuss as well. And there's another one which is called discounted cash flow, DCF. Okay, under DCF there are two types, two techniques which are used. Is something called as NPV and IRR. I have suppose that NPV is still valid today also in many of the projects, but IRR is not widely used today. It has taken a slightly backseat as. That's why practically we'll see. We will discuss the payback period. You can say a working of payback period, how it works, as well as the NPV method also. Under discounted cash flow, we are going to discuss one example of NPV both, right? So as it will throw a sufficient light as to how you are going to justify the additional capital which has been put, which has been invested for the project, okay, in terms of the projected estimated returns as well. Okay, this is what we'll see in terms of financial analysis. First one, as I mentioned, is payback period, friends. Payback period is very clear from the term itself that this is the time which is expected to be taken by the proposed project to get a financial return. It means you must look at the period, okay, or the cross period at which your return could be equal or more than the investment made, or rather your returns are more than the investment made. You have to find out the appropriate time, future time, where your returns would be matching with the investment made. This is something called a payback period. So that's why I mentioned here that this is achieved when the cumulative cash flow or the cumulative cash flow, summation of the cash flow, okay, which would be equating to the initial investment. Okay, we'll see that actual when you see the example, you understand that. Just have a look, friends, you'll understand. Payback period. Let me tell you, friends, this is also a case study, actual case study, except that I have not mentioned the name. But otherwise, this is actual case of one of my customers. Assuming that there's certain factor that it's a 5-year project, or maybe more than 5 years project. Initial investment was 2 lakhs. This could be 2 crores, but for our example, I've mentioned as 2 lakhs. Now look at the projection, friends. Look at the projection made for next 5 years. So first year, starting from first year, expected that there will be some income flow, income will happen, expense also. When we net the expenses from the income, we'll have a net cash flow. Net cash flow of 50 rupees. Very simple. Okay, so 90,000 minus 40,000. We have a net cash flow of 50,000 rupees or 50 rupees. Okay, so cumulative also is 50 first year. Second year, as you can see, income is increasing now. Same is the case. Same is the case for expense also. So second year, income has gone up to 120. Hello, yeah, 120. Expense 70. So you have a same cash flow of 50 rupees. But when we add that cash flow, the cumulative cash flow at the end of year 2, second year, become 100 rupees. Likewise, you can see, friends. Okay, now we have to see at what point the break even happens. Break even is the point, or payback period is the point where I should have cumulative cash flow, okay, more than 2 lakhs of rupees. Let me repeat. I must find out the period sooner to happen where my cumulative cash flow will be more than the initial investment of 2 lakh. When it will happen? If you look at year 4, it has not yet happened because my cumulative cash flow is only 170. Still, there's a shortage, okay, compared to 2 lakh rupees. So this will happen, friends, somewhere in between year 4 and year 5. So we need not wait up to the end of year 5, isn't it? So somewhere we have to see between year 4 and year 5 at what point of time it will happen. Okay, so that's why given the working also. Look at on the right hand side. So cash flow for year 5, 1,40,000. Okay, we have to work it out per month cash flow. So we divide by 12. So you get 11,600 something, right? So monthly cash flow for year 5. Okay. Now you look at the cash flow for year 4, 30,000, right? Divided by the monthly cash flow for year 5. Okay, you get some period. What is period? That period is 2.57 lakhs, around 2.5 months. So this is a broken period of 5th year. What does that indicate, friends? Okay, you can see here. So it indicates that payback period for this project will be 4 years plus 2.5 months, 2.50 months. In other words, before completion of 5 years, okay, at 4 and 2.4 years plus 2.5 months, the break will happen where your returns cumulative cash flow will be more than 2 lakh of rupees. Okay, that's what about the payback period.
Sir, one question.
Yes, please.
So payback period understood, but there is some extra amount. So should we consider that extra amount is the profitability?
What is the extra amount, madam?
Because in 5th year, the cumulative cash flow is 310. I mean 3,10,000.
Year 5.
So and the investment was 2 lakhs. So
Year 5.
Huh?
Year 5 you are talking about?
Yeah, year 5 I'm talking about.
Fine. So what we have to see, we have to we have to see the broken period because anyway it is going to happen at the end of year 5, isn't it? My cumulative cash flow will be 3,10,000, but we need not wait up to the end of the year. I need to see at what time before completion of year 5 my break even will happen, isn't it? So break even will happen here at the point where the period would be 4 years plus almost 3, say you can say 2.5 months or 3 months. Before completion of 5 years, Okay, where you can see, you can justify to the customer investor that at that point of time my returns will be more than the investment. That is what is our intention.
Okay. Okay, so got it.
Okay, thank you.
Sir, can you please once again explain this slide? Actually, partially I'm not able to clear, if
You can't
possible,
see
sir.
I have displayed the entire full
At
slides.
least in summary, because few points which you told about the return of the investment. So it could be even the case study could be in within 1 year also. It could be possible that cash flow can be returned, right?
You mean this could be possible in 1 year?
Yeah, I'm just asking actually,
Yeah,
is
yeah,
it
okay.
possible?
I'm going to explain you. This may not be possible in 1 year because at the end of first year, my cash flow is only 50,000. How much we want? We want minimum 2 lakhs, isn't it? Or higher than 2 lakhs. At what point of time that will happen? Not 5 years. Okay, 4 years, fine. At four
Between
years, no.
4.5, yeah.
Sorry.
Between 4 and 5, the break-even point will happen
Exactly.
because,
So is
yeah.
it at 4 years? No. At the end of 4 years, my cumulative cash flow is only 1,70,000. So some shortfall is there. That shortfall will be made good somewhere mid of year five. Am I making?
For anyone who is not aware of what BE point is nothing but break-even point where we are not making any profit and also we are not making any loss. So that is the
Perfect. That's why I said break even.
break-even point. Yeah. So just
Perfect.
for understanding for
So
everyone. Yeah.
precisely the point where my returns are either more than 2 lakhs or exactly 2 lakhs. So as to reach my cash flow to reach 2 lakhs, I will need 4 years plus 2.5 months. I hope I'm making the
Okay,
point
sir.
clear.
Yes, yes, sir.
Any
Yes, yes.
calculation, if anybody not clear, you are free to ask me. That's why
No,
not
sir, it's
exactly
clear.
taken up the 5 years, isn't it? Otherwise, very easy to understand. But if it is
Okay,
happening midway between 4 to 5 years, you must be in a position to work it out also.
okay,
Thank
okay.
you. Let's go ahead, friends. Let's look at what are the advantages and disadvantages of this particular method. Of course, advantages very clearly known. It's very simple. Anybody will understand, isn't it? And even investor or any stakeholder will understand that this is going to projection. So my money will be very safe after 4 years. Is as an initial filter because it's not entire financial analysis, friends. Okay, it's not comprehensive analysis. One of the initial filter, initial method. Okay, to showcase to the investor. It is standard technique nowadays. As I mentioned, is one of the one of the technique we very commonly use worldwide also. It favors projects with faster returns. As you can see, the returns are very fast. Okay, so you could see that the project could be giving some return from the first year itself without waiting, for some period. The returns are coming up, okay, from the first year itself. Better for company liquidity. Okay, if you are looking for better liquidity, okay, and faster return, this is a better method. Effective for high risk situation. Definitely, yes. When we say that the returns are very high, definitely high risk, high returns. Or whenever you look for high returns, it is always coupled with high risk also. At the same time, you'll always find some disadvantage also, friend. What are the disadvantages? Very importantly, very importantly, um, it ignores the time value of money. So you'll agree with me, friend, that we have seen the aggregate returns per year, isn't it, for 5 years? But as a well-known a fact that the real value of the money value always goes down. It doesn't remain the same. That's why this method doesn't consider the time value of money, TVM. Okay, it happens to be one of the disadvantages. We'll have physical return, but how much is the real return? How much is the time value of the money? That has not been considered into this. One more advantage, friends. So we are looked at the 5 years, and we are interested into when the cross break even will happen. But we are not consider the project period as such. Okay, the project period could be after 5 years also. This has to be considered also, isn't it? Does not consider project cash flow after the payback period has been reached. Okay, this they also one of the advantage. Not good for long term projects. Very highly high long term projects, because if we are not considering the time value of money, this method may not be applicable, may not be appropriate as. Okay. So as to address this issue of TVM, okay, we have one more method. This is something called discounted cash flow, DCF. Okay, I'm quite sure many of you must be knowing, which is well worked out, very well worked out for so many projects for working the projections. DCF. Okay, discounted cash flow is based on the fact or assumption that the value of money depreciates, goes down over a period of time. Where that's why we try under this method to get the expected cash flow, which are adjusted, discounted, okay, over a period of time. That's why whatever cash flow we have there, we apply the factor of discount, and then we try to get the real value of the money also. Okay, so under this there are two techniques, as I said, but we will be seeing only one, NPV, which is very much followed, very very commonly followed in all across the industries. Let's look at it. Okay, friends. Based on the assumption, based on the study, another case study we have. Same figures, same assumptions, except that we have worked out for 5 years, and where we have applied a technique of DCF here, discount cash flow, net present value. So look at the assumption, friends. First, of course, assumption is 2 lakh of rupees, same amount has been invested. Here, look at the formula of discounting factor, DF first. How the discounting factor is worked out. There is a formula, 1 divided by 1 plus R raised to N. Okay, so where R is the interest rate. So interest rate, assume friend, is 10%. Okay, that point of time, this is around 4-year-old story. So that point of time, the rate was assumed at 10%. Today, we can assume at around 8%. Okay. And discounting factor. What is discounting factor, friends? Is the rate at which the money value goes down. Okay, every year, let's assume that money value goes down by 10% per year. Okay, so this could be your own working, but in this case, we have ideally considered rate of interest of 10% and discounting factor is 10%. Okay, likewise, we have worked on the right hand side, year on year, you can see how the discount factor is worked out. Look at year zero, friends. Year zero, existing year, so there's no discount. That's why we have considered one as a discount factor. We start with one. Okay, so the value is same. Year zero, discount factor is one, but there is no income flow because we are just invested, friends. Year zero is it's not year one. Okay, the investment has been made, but there are no returns at all. That's why the net cash flow is minus 200, isn't it? And present value is also minus 200. Now look at year one, friends. Very, very important. Now the year one is passed. First 1 year has been passed. That's why we have to treat the real value of money and calculate it by discount also. So you can see how the discount has been worked out, friends. Year one, the cash flow is 50 rupees, but it's not real value. That's why 50 into 0.91 is a discount factor. Same formula we have worked out. It's not one. One is a base figure, base discount. Okay, so 50 into 0.91 will give you the real value of money as 45.50 rupees. Say 45 rupees. Okay, so real value of 50 rupees, physically it is 50 rupees, but real value is 45 rupees. That's the PV, present value of the money at the end of year one is 45.50 rupees. Likewise, you can see the discount factor goes down because with the money value going down, right? So at year four, for example, year four, okay, discount factor we worked out as 0.66. So cash flow is 30 into 0.68 or 66, whatever. Okay, so PV has been given at 20 rupees, not 30 rupees. The real value of 30 rupees is 20 rupees at the end of year four. Now, accordingly, friend, we go for 5 years and take a summation of PV or the PVs, present value of money. Okay, how much it happens? So cumulative present value, okay, happens to be 2,24,000. 2.24 is 2,24,000. What does that indicate, friends? 2,24,000 is higher than 2 lakhs. Okay, so it means my value of my money, okay, would be more than the investment amount at the end of year 5. Even though I consider the discount factor, even though I consider the present value, net present value, still I find that the break even happens at the end of year 5, or my net present value of 2 lakh 24,000 has crossed the initial investment of 2 lakhs. That's what you have to see. So at the end of year 5, I can see that I'll be free. So my value is, my returns are, real value returns are more than the investment amount. This is something called as net present value. I hope I could clarify for every year. If anybody has not understood, please ask me, friends. The very standard method everybody will follow, all of you, whenever you work out the projections. Of course, the assumption could be different. At that point, you may assume rate of interest could be 8% or 9% over period of, or you can change the rate of interest also. You find that every year the rate of interest will still go down or they'll go up. That could be your assumption. Here, for our simple assumption, simple understanding, I have maintained the same rate of interest for 5 years, and it's a real case.
Okay, just one question over there. In
Yes, sir,
the
please.
discount factor, 1 divided by 1 plus r under bracket, and there is an power
Raised to
of
n.
n. Right.
Correct.
So r is
That will
the
be your the
rate
discount
of
factor.
interest.
If
Sorry.
you have to multiply discount factor with the gross cash flow.
No, no, no. I just wanted to understand
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
the what is r? R is the rate, right? And
Rate of
n is the
interest.
number of years.
Yes,
N is
yes, sir.
number
Yes,
of
sir.
years, right?
Yeah,
Okay. So each time I have a question here. Let's
yeah.
say we are starting with the year zero. That is the
Perfect.
current time. Let's say I'm putting up 10 lakhs. Okay.
Perfect.
And if I let's say if I if I invest it for 20 years, considering the project, okay,
20
I
years.
invest
Okay,
10
okay.
lakhs. So in 20 years, the actual value of 20 lakhs will be reduced down to maybe 15 lakh or less than that, maybe.
No, no. See, you, sir, you have to consider 2 points. One is how much is your investment. Suppose your investment is 20 lakhs,
Uh-huh.
right? Your investment 20 lakhs. You would like to see at what point of time my real value returns in real value would be more than, better than 20 lakhs.
Uh, can
Because
you repeat that, please, again? Can you repeat? Can you
yeah,
repeat?
yeah. Okay, let me repeat. Good. So, initially, as you said, that your investment has been made is 20 lakhs. You would like to
Okay.
see that where, at what point of time, even considering the discount factor, my cumulative returns would be more than 20 lakhs.
Okay. Okay.
That's what
Okay.
we
So
have
yeah.
done, sir. See, at every year, end of year, every year we have seen the real value. End of year two, okay. So it
Uh-huh.
is 41 rupees. Right? 50
Correct.
rupees were your gross return. But applying the discount factor, your real value return is 41 rupees. Similarly for third year. So we have taken a judgment that at end of year 5, how much are my present value? How much is my cumulative return? Is 2,24,000. Likewise, you have to work out every year end. So in your case,
Hmm.
it can happen at the end of year 8. At the end of year 8, your net returns in real value would be more than 20 lakhs. This can happen
Okay.
at the end of year 9.
Uh-huh.
In this case, we have taken a simple case, and this is the actual case because amount was very, 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 very low. So at the end of year, so investment, or suppose it's your own investment, you'll feel happy that my entire returns on ROI, my returns on
Uh-huh.
investment would be over at the end of year 5. It means your entire 2 lakhs in initial investment has been recovered and you have surplus of 24,000. That's what we call it as NPV, net present value. I mentioned at the end.
Okay. Okay. So the value of 1 rupees in next 10 years would be reduced down to
Suppose
or
here,
5 years
see, yeah, so end of year 5, sir, 1 rupee has become 62 paisa,
in 5 years. Yeah.
isn't it?
Point.
So
Point.
still
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
will be lower.
Right. Right. Right.
It will lower again. Okay, who knows that at the end of year 10, the real value of your discount factor will be almost 0.10.
0.10.
Yeah, so
Yes.
almost zero, isn't it? So that's what you have to say, that looking at the inflation happening at the rate of 10%, still whether you
Uh-huh.
sustain the returns.
Okay, okay, okay. It depends on the investment and depends on the
Depend on the discount.
profit that we are making. The profit
Perfectly
that
said.
we are making.
Perfectly said. Perfectly said.
Okay, okay. Got it,
Okay.
got it. Thanks.
I hope I've tried to simplify, and good that sir is also you are raised. So I tried to simplify to the extent possible. Anybody who is not clear, again, you can ask me now or maybe at the end of the session also. Thank you. Can I go ahead, sir?
Sir,
Yeah, yeah.
so according to this discussion, sir, so we are assuming based on the inflation which may happen into the upcoming
Perfect.
years,
So here, so
and
inflation rate in simple terms, the inflation rate is 10%.
okay, then in 10 years, this project, whatever is the investment will be come back or it will become zero. Like then after it
That
will
should
be
be how
profitable
soon.
100%.
See, yeah, I have just given an example, but as an entrepreneur, okay, you must see, as a project manager also, you must see that how soon, within how much least time, I can recover the initial amount.
So this is just inflammation, and in addition to that,
Yes, sir.
the profits will be added, which will be that drastically change the game, and we may recover
Perfect.
in 2 years,
See,
3 years.
yeah. So see here, you can see the cash flow. What is cash flow? Cash flow is nothing but gross profit, sir. Income minus
Okay,
the gross profit. That gross
got it.
profit is cash flow. That cash flow we are subjecting to the discount factor. So we get a net present value of the cash flow. The net present value is nothing but it's a gross profit every year.
Got it, sir. So if we are doing for some client, it is a client project, it's not our own product. Then in that case, is we are concerned about doing all of it.
Yes, you can do it for yourself. You can do it quite realistically for your customer also. It's your duty, as a PM. Okay, you are putting it everything very crystal clear that okay, you are going to invest 2 lakh of rupees. Okay, I'm going to multiply this capital. I'm going to earn some capital, earn some profit. Even though the gross profit is there, but still, I'm putting it more realistically. I'm doing it more realistically, and I'm discounting my return. What is DF after all? I'm discounting my return to arrive at more legible, more real value of that money. Even though we get it, still out of that net cash flow, okay, my returns are so lucrative that I can recover that amount in 5 years. That's what it should be sure.
Got it, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Let's go ahead, friends. Thank you. Okay, we have seen the net present value or DF value. It has also some advantages and disadvantages. Just have a look. You have understood well, so you can definitely make out the advantages. It's more realistic, as you can see, friends, because it has considered very important factor of TVM, time value of money, or real value of money. So what we have done, all cash flows are compared with today's value. What we have considered today's value is one. Against today's value of one, then we look at the discounted value, which goes down year on year. Okay. Now here, friends, the whole time span has been taken. It means this is a 5 year project. 5 year project. So at the end, so your return matching with the investment amount and the completion of the project are same. I hope I'm making the point clear. Your completion of the project is also 5 years, and the point where your returns are more than your investment is also 5 years. So here the whole time span, whole project period is considered. Disadvantages, friends, as I said, it's based on certain assumptions. So better the assumption, better will be your working. So accuracy would depend on the assumption. Okay, your future cash flow as well as the rate, interest rate, as well as discount rate amounts. We are not considered any non-financial data frame here. We are strictly we are considered only financials, only financial. Any environmental factor or any such factor we are not considered. And as you can make out, friends, this system is not fit for short-term projects. Because short-term project, there may not be any value going down, isn't it? So wherever you find that over a period of time, considerable period where there is a considerable reduction in the value of the money, right? This should be more suitable. That's what I feel. Okay. So these are all about two methods to financially evaluate the project. That, as you can see, a small factor, friends. Higher the interest rate, lower will be NPV, isn't it? Always. Okay. Friends, we have seen the business case, okay, and we are working also. But sometimes, as you can see, de- depending on the needs of the customer, the business case could be different, or business case could be more exhaustive. This is something that can take a shape of DPR. Many of you must be aware, okay, that business case also could be called a DPR, okay, in a different way. Um, where the DPR is made applicable, mostly in all the corporate sector or maybe government sector, mainly government sector, where the project period is very large or the period is very high. Say, for example, the project going on for 8 years, 10 years, 15 years. That's why our only business case, what we have talked about, may not be suitable. We need to come out with lot of detailed working, okay, detailed projection, detailed drawings, okay, and there could be a series of discussion, series of authority also. There could be a ladder of authority would be going through the DPR and before which is before it is approved. So there is a structure of DPR, friends, which is slightly different and more detailed, in depth compared to the business case. We have seen the business case, but this could be the overall, you can say, structure, template of DPR. So you look at different DPR could be divided into 6, 8, 9 points major. Project summary. We start with the project summary. Then there is justification. There could be history of related work, as we have seen, comparative work, isn't it? Comparative analysis. Then there are so many technical plans. Typical look at, say, for example, any infra project, friends. Maybe construction of bridge, okay, construction of Samruddhi highway, you must have seen. Okay, this for that it was DPR. I have seen, I have studied DPR also. Somewhere I have been part of that project also, so I can tell you. Samruddhi highway project. Okay, then there are so many technical design parameters, production plan, reliability and quality assurance provisions, friends. Very, very critical. Then management plan. What are the different structure of the management and responsibilities, procurement arrangement, schedule, different schedules, period-wise schedules, resource requirements, etc., etc. System plan. If anybody would like to see and would like to have a reference also, definitely I have a lot of DPR, a lot of areas where I have worked in DPR. So that also I can share. This goes into maybe hundreds and hundreds of pages before we prepare the DPR. And evaluation, very neat, in-depth analysis and evaluation worked out before it gets into action. Okay, so these are all about DPR, friends, broad structure. Then, friends, looking at your responsibility given to you, okay, look at your functional organization. Okay, so assuming that you are not only project manager, but you could be called as a chief executive of the project or control of the project. Okay, these terms have been used in the PM box, so that's why taken from there. So the destination can vary from industry to industry, but here I'm taking just to understand the functional organization. So you being a chief executive, friends, okay, where you have an immediate team of functional managers, or they're called team leaders or project leaders. Here we can call them as a functional manager immediately below you, who report to you. Okay, so along with functional manager and chief executive yourself, that you will form the project coordination committee or project coordination group. Okay, group team, along with the team of yourself and functional managers. Then below functional manager, okay, there will be a dedicated team, specific team members allotted, depending on the functional, depending on the departmental, departmental allocation of the work. Okay, so there's a specific team, allocated to the function manager, each of them. Now you can see, friend, even team also, team-wise, there are two different team members. Okay, I have mentioned also black boxes represent the staff engaged in project activity. What does that mean? Black boxes. Okay, those carrying the black boxes, they are dedicated for the project, or they have been sourced. They have been there. They have been onboarded, trained specifically for the project. Whereas the staff member in the yellow team, or you can say yellow band, those could be the members in the same organization. Those have been derived, those have been deputed for this project specifically. After the project is over, they will get back to their routine activities. They have been temporarily sourced, pooled only for the project. Okay, otherwise they are part and parcel of the ongoing organization, ongoing responsibilities. That's what it makes the team. Okay, so your aggregate team for the function manager will be a combination of both dedicated team specifically for the project, as well as the team member who have some experience or expertise. They have been pulled from the existing organization also. Okay, friends. So this is a broadly a functional organization. Okay, so with this we come to an end of this particular session. So let us go to the next session, friends. We are slightly ahead of our set schedule. Without making, I would not like to make an hurry or any hasty manner. Yeah, I hope, irrespective of wherever you have carry the experience, I wish that everybody should understand the concept and conceptual input also. So let's go ahead, friends, with the same pace. Let me open the presentation.
Sir, I have a question.
Yeah, please, sir.
By the time you
Yeah, sure. Yeah, please.
open up there, isn't a tool available for DPR?
Sorry, sir.
Isn't a tool available for making the DPR?
Yes, absolutely. Yes, absolutely. Yes, they are tools,
Okay.
and this will depend on the type, on the nature of the project.
Okay.
There are export tools available, specialized tools are always available. Yes, absolutely.
So if you could share that as well offline, that will be great.
Yeah, absolutely. You just do let me know the
Sure.
area of the project, and definitely I will share.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Sure, sir. Sure. Thank you. So, friends, let's go ahead. Let me share the presentation. I hope you can see the slide. So for this, we will be getting more into more detail, more deeper part of the PM assets to understand. Okay, friends. So before we go ahead, very important. And at this stage now, as my friend, my colleague has been asking, what could be my role, in what way I should involve myself. So this slide is very specific, very important for you to understand what you're supposed to do, what could be assigned role to you, as well as responsibility also. Exhaustive list. I know. Okay, so it's an exhaustive list. So this could be areas where you are specifically involved. You are part and parcel of the responsibilities given. First, of course, to develop and build up the business case, own and operating on the PMP front. Very importantly, okay. As we have discussed, PMP is a document which should be very close to your heart, and which will be a reference material for you on day in, day out. What I have seen many cases in your team member with the team, the PMP has been attached at that as their workstation itself. It becomes one of the operating manual for them on day in, day out. Okay, same is the case should be for you also. This will be your reference material for every day and day out. That's the way it should be prepared, friends. Then your role, of course, you could be responsible to deliver the project on time, of course, within budget, means within the assigned approved budget, and also should to meet all required specifications. So whatever specification, what a design, what a technical parameters are there, okay, you have to fulfill and you have to meet with that project. Project integration, having the control, and again coordinating with the inputs, coordinating with the team members, interdepartmental coordination also. You may be required to touch base and coordinate with different department, different, you can say, terminals. You have to coordinate. Managing stakeholder expectations. No, doesn't need any explanation now. We discuss in detail. Understand, try to understand who could be the stakeholders, and also understand what way I can make best use of their involvement to the project. That is what we have to manage. Developing and motivating team, that's we are going to discuss, friends. Now it's not a question of team, but how the team should be performed to the extent of your expectation, how you to develop, train them, okay, groom them, and of course motivate them. There are certain theories also, friend, how you should motivate. That also we are going to discuss this. Very well known and interesting theories. Mantras. These are going to be mantras for motivating the team. Resolving team conflicts, of course, okay. Need not be any, there should not be any conflict, but if at all, again there also, friends, very interesting theories are there, interesting inputs are there, okay. Conflict resolution theories, that also we are going to discuss. Maintain a channel between the project team and senior members. So as we have already seen, you are going to be a balancing factor between you yourself, your team on one side, another side would be your senior management, stakeholders, customer, if at all customer is there, to maintain the communication with all the stakeholders. Okay, as we have discussed, not only stakeholder but each and every team member, with a team member directly or indirectly, isn't it? So broadly, you could be responsible with your team leader, okay, or you can say functional manager. In turn, functional manager will be coordinated with this team member, right? Senior management through project also. Looking at the risk, whatever risk you have outlined, we have analyzed and discussed in the business case. You should see that all the project case are fully identified, assets very well, and you have a risk management plan also. And friend, assessment of risk is going to be an ongoing process. It's not one time that you assess it, you're resolved, you're repaired, and that's it. This could be there could be need to exercise reassessment of the risk also, any new risk. Developing the delivery network schedule. Network schedule is nothing but time-wise plan, scope of the project, scope of all detailed schedules. Okay, major activities broken down to minor activities for the project. I hope these are the broader role, friends, and responsibility you need to understand, and you need to stick up to that only. Beyond that, as I said yesterday, okay, you may not be carrying any responsibilities. Another one in line with your role and responsibility, friends. What could be the extent of your delegation? What power you exercise? Okay, so based on again my exercise, this can change, friends, but this is desirable. I would say desirable. Okay, so looking at your powers as well as your team members, and in different areas. Okay, so for work allocation definitely these are all allocated to you. You are responsible for the team, for the project leader. Partly, I suppose as far as work allocation is concerned, first final is done. Wherever minor allocation required, that could be done by the team leader. Okay. For the team member, absolutely there are no powers, should not be any powers for allocating. They should not take any decision within themselves, among themselves. That okay, they should not be. That could be partly or rather majority will be handled by the team leader, function leader, and fully with you only. Sorry. When it comes to taking major decisions, friends, absolutely correct. You carry the whole responsibility of taking all the decisions within your purview. So whatever purview radius within your radius, friends, okay, and the project responsibility given to you, you are the person who should take all the major decisions and minor decisions also. You can, of course, you can delegate some decisions to your team leader. Definitely, you decide that okay, these are the nature of the responsibilities which are quite routine one, which are repetitive. So within the purview of the quality of the project, you may not involve at all much. So those responsibilities partly could be given to your team leader, project leader. Of course, major decisions not to be taken by any team member. No decisions to be taken. Okay, and very importantly, friends, spending delegation. So spending powers. As we have already discussed, friends, we already have a challenge of the cost, allocated cost. So I suppose the entire, you can say, purview, the entire department, okay, the extent of delegation should be given to you, should be kept with you only. Even for the team leader also, I don't think you should give some delegation as far as spending is concerned, and nothing for team member. Nothing for team member. That's what I feel. Some projects maybe some petty cash or something. Some delegation of maybe minor amount could be given to the team leader, but you should exercise abundant precaution in monitoring that the spending also. Okay, that's why. But I feel when it comes to spending, I think that should be restricted at your level only. This is all about the roles, responsibilities, powers given, major given. Now coming to team threats, coming to a team, very interesting part. So for you as a leader, project manager, what is team for you? I suppose that you have a team, very compact team, compact group of individuals who should share. It is expected that they should share the same objective and identity of the project, values of the project, etc., etc. Okay, in a common. So the theme spirit should be commonly understood. Okay, everybody should have same spirit. Okay, same feeling of the spirit, I suppose. Okay, same is the case for the standard of behavior. At least, not to talk about the technical skill. Other than that, they have a adequate behavioral standards, attributes for them. The degree of commitment, okay, say that also should be common. What your spirit, what your feeling you have as far project is concerned, same should be percolated with the team also. Loyalty, not to discuss about. It should be very high level of loyalty. Diversity also. So that's what you can decide, that how far they are diverse, to the extent of rotation of work, rotation of duties. Okay, you are the authority. There should be adequate scope for diversity also, given the encircling the activity as well. Then you have the responsibilities for not only to just to carry the team, but right from selecting the team, as we have discussed. Okay, this happens to be one of the key role of the project manager also. Okay, so you'll understand the requirements of the staff, every staff member. Then accordingly you'll go for selection, placement. Then once the placement and onboarding takes place, okay, training them on ongoing basis. When I say training will involve both on the functional training as well as behavioral training also. I suppose, given the criticality of the project, okay, to groom the project, the team members, training has to be a habit. It should be a regular way of training them, grooming them also. Okay, so organizing of the team, keeping them compact, following the same spirit. Okay, aligning them with the spirit of the organization should be your duty. Team building, again, your duty. And safety also, we are going to discuss about the safety front. It's not only physical safety what you have to provide adequately, but also in terms of the social safety, social ambience, self actualization. Okay, so he should feel that, okay, not only limited to this project, I would like to associate with subsequent project also. Okay, this all good amount of responsibility lies with the project manager, friends. This is about the team and its performance, the way you look at it, how you expect the team perform. Okay, let's go ahead. That's why I find that who could be project teams, they are definitely, that should be your feeling, friend, that the teams are at the core of the project, center of the project. So this is absolutely essential, as I discussed also. Okay, apart from your own capability, your team should be high performing, and their team member, cohesive team member, who share the same feeling, same aim, same objective, okay, towards the project. So uniqueness of the project and the continuity creates a large dependency. You should give a feeling. Always you should have a feeling that yes, I am for the ultimate success of the project. There's a high level of dependency on the team. It's not on you, but yes, you need to pass it on. The level of dependency on them, the level of reliability, the level of reliance on them also. Okay.
Sir, I have a question.
Yeah, please, sir.
Sir, in this, in term of the performance of the team, and usually if it is a IT project, we are following like agile methodology or some repetitive
Yes, sir.
methodology. So how much mandatory it is for a project manager to be involved into the stand-up call or looking after the daily, work contribution done by the each team members.
Good
How much it
question.
is?
Good question.
Yes, sir.
Not required on daily basis. As long as you have a good dependence and trust with your project leaders, functional managers or project managers. They are sorry, team leaders. They are quite competent, isn't it? They as good as in a group. They represent you only. They carry the same spirit, same feeling what you have. As long as you are trust, full trust that yes, they carry their responsibility. You need not involve. That amount of delegation should be left with them. I feel very honestly. Not that each and every point you need to involve yourself. You must see that how the function works, how the functionality works, even in your absence also. That is what the level of training and grooming you have to do. Okay, people feel a lot of, because it's a big misnomer that the activity will continue only when I'm there, only when I involve myself, which is a big misnomer, isn't it? In the most ideal management tool could say that your real skill would be depicted or displayed when the team is performing, or the performance going on, activities going on, even in your absence, short absence. That would showcase your real performance.
Great, sir. Thank you, sir. So
I, I don't believe I
periodically,
don't believe that day to day
yeah.
with all nitty gritties you should involve.
So periodically, checking the status is fine.
Yeah,
Maybe periodically
periodically,
once or
of course,
twice.
there are reviews. We have discussed about the
Yeah.
take gate reviews, okay, and a periodical performance review of your team. That should be happen. Definitely, that should happen.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Appropriate time. That's why we have seen, so as to maintain the appropriate flow and proper flow, quality also, and of course pace of the team and the project. That you should see overview. You are supposed to have an overview of the project. That's what is sufficient. Okay, sir.
Got it. Got it.
Can I go ahead?
Yeah,
Okay.
sure.
Yeah, in line with the team building friend, there is a very interesting, you can say, mantras with something called team formation stages. Okay, so this happens in different forms, different stages also. Okay, so this is a very well known global model which is called a Tuckman model. Okay, so what we need to do for to, if you would like to be a very effective team project manager or team leader, what you should have: clarify individual roles and responsibilities. That's what I was trying to. Good question, my team my colleagues are asked. That first meeting itself, please clarify the role very transparently to each and everybody. Make them aware about the extent of role, do's and don'ts. This is what you are to supposed to do. These things are not supposed to be done by you. Delegate appropriate. That's what I said. Your appropriate person could be your next in line. Okay, your team leader or project leader or functional managers. Okay, you can delegate to them also in a group. Expect and resolve conflicts at the earliest. Of course, we are going to discuss. There are certain mantras. What are the mantras of conflict resolution? Okay, encourage diversity. We discuss about, and build a team entity. Of course, over a period of time that will happen. Let's look at the stages, friends. What different team formation stages? This is something called a Tuckman model. Okay, so this is where you have to look at your role or the extent of role. To what extent you have to involve, to what extent you need not involve also. Okay, depending on the you can say the criticality of the stage. That's what it says. Very interesting. So it's the Tuckman says there are four stages: forming stage, storming stage, norming stage, and performing stage. Okay. Of course, there's one more stage. I would look at it as a 4+1 stages. But Tuckman says in a given industry, it has four development stage. If required, some stages, some case, okay, we need to go for the fifth stage also, which is called a morning stage or adjourning stage. Okay, otherwise forming, storming, norming, and performance stage. Okay, how we go to that ladder and go up to that stage. Of course, it says itself that is performance stage. Let's look at it. At every stage, that extent, what way you have to involve. First is forming stage, friends. Tuckman model says that at this stage is very new, very, you can see in its first and very immature stage, budding stage, you can see. Okay, where the team, all team members, they only moderately effective. Moderately effective is a term, okay, because they lack a common aim. As of now, they are not understood well They're yet to understand what is common aim for all of them. They may be hesitant. Okay, Tuckman, that is observed by Tuckman. They may be hesitant and unsure of each other. They do not understand. They are not knowing each other, and so they are unsure each other. So if that is the case, then what would be your role, friends? Okay, so you need to give only direction, and build a common grounds. Your involvement is very, very limited, friends, in forming stage. Okay, help members to understand each other better. That's it. Okay, so you are not involved into their day-to-day nitty-gritties, okay, behavioral pattern, nothing. Just try to help them to understand each other in a better way. That's it. Going to storming stage, very, very interesting, friend. Even the terms are very interesting. Storming stage. It means next stage, but still, in many industries, I have seen also there are differences, there are hostilities. Okay, so there are still there existent. They surface between the team members. Sometimes, okay, this may lead to arguments also. Okay, sometimes some argument happens. Different opinions. Still, each and every member has different opinion. What we call them as they are carrying the baggage. They carry the baggage still today. Okay, wherever I have worked earlier, my earlier industry, the legacy. Okay, so they may carry different opinions. There could be personality conflicts, arguments. Good term is personality conflicts. Okay, formation of groups, very dangerous part, very, very damaging part. So between the team, okay, different groups can be formed, or subgroups also, groups and subgroups, smaller groups also. Should not be any scope, but it happens because still they're into the initial stage. So what you are supposed to do as a PM? Motivate. Now you need to involve yourself and motivate and educate the team members. You should motivate and try to educate, train the team members. Your I suppose, friends, storming is a very, very significant part of PMSs. Clarify the project. That's where now. That is where you have to involve more. Clarify the project goals. What is this project all about? What we as a team are going to achieve, and manage the team conflicts. Whatever conflict could be there, that must be managed. That must be closed there itself. Should not be any further dimension of conflicts. That's why you're gradually now you're involving into the team, isn't it? Storming stage. Let's go ahead. Norming stage. Okay, norming stage, as the term indicates, it means there is some improvement. There is some improvement where the team members have started developing their identity. Now their identity has been formed. Okay, so their own role has been formed. Set up norms and values. Okay, now they are understood well. They are developing themselves. What is their values? What are the norms on which they have been taken? Right, better understanding. Okay, the stage is now better understanding between the team members and communication also. This is very, very much evident. Okay, so the communication happening is absolutely in a fair form. Okay, they are trying to understand each other, so their baggage is coming down. Whatever mental baggage they have, right, it is coming down gradually. Issues become more important than the personality. It means their own personal issues, okay, they are less important than the main issue. So their issues is you can say workstation issues relating to their work. They are more important for them than their personal egos. Okay, personal approach, whatever way, is very important. I would say normie is a good stage to see the change. Is a good change. Okay, that's why I find that is my personal opinion is normie is very, very important stage for you as a project manager as well for the project also. That change you should witness. You should be witness for this good change happen. So your role, look at the role, resolve the issues which come up. If at all some issues are come up, resolve them. Define and assign the team role and response. Is in a more clear way, more concrete way, each and every team member should be made aware about his role as well as for his responsibilities till the time the project is going on. Very, very important, friends. Okay, please make the assign, not clarity, but assign the roles here. Distribute the team roles and responsibilities. Okay, at norming stage, very important. I feel this is the stage where you have more critical role to involve yourself. Let's go ahead. Performing stage, of course, where PM has very less role because it's the team has become performing now. Okay, high performing team. Okay, it has entered to such a stage that they're shown to be a high performing team. Members understand and appreciate each other. Look at the change, friends. Now, not only they are they have reservation, but they have understood each member well. Also, some member they are appreciating each other also for the work, right? So team works very effectively as a resourceful, focused, and cohesive form. So team building has been formed. A solid team has formed at this stage. They are performing stage. They are more focused on the work. They have shown that they are resourceful. They are productive. They are effective also, and they have united aim. Not me, but we. They have shown. Problems could be small, maybe small problems. Okay, minor problems could be tackled more confidently. So, and innovatively also. I feel that you may not be involved also for this issue, any problem also, that they can tackle more confidently and innovatively. What is role then? As I said, friend, at this stage, PM's role is very, very simple, very simple. Okay, so you need to see that they maintain the performance. You need to see that the sustained performance is happening. Constantly they are performing. Okay, by way of coordinating them and controlling the work to the extent possible, but otherwise the core control could be kept by team leader also. But somewhere you can see that yes, I'm there. I'm the project manager. I'm there. I can coordinate it very well. Can do that. Okay, wherever required, you can showcase the control. Otherwise, control may not be required. Appraise the performance. Appraise the performance. Okay, so whosoever who is working out of box, okay, out of box, something hutky, offbeat, please appraise the performance, delegate the work more clearly, acknowledge the good work. Very, very important, friends. It's not, you need not stop the okay, what is going on fine, okay, it's not okay. Somebody who is doing exceptionally good work, exceptionally good work, please acknowledge him. Okay, try to deploy the concept which is called as R&R. This is where you need to involve. This should be the strategy policy of the organization also. R&R. What is R&R? Nothing but you have policy called rewards and recognition. Rewards and recognition is the parameter here. You must, those who are performing, who has outstanding performance should be awarded, should be rewarded and recognized also. R&R. Not only you are putting him on a high skill of his performance, but also this could be motivating other member as well. Okay, this will help you in future also. Okay, four stages, normal four stages. That's it. So this will go on up to the project completion stage. Somewhere, if required, there could be one more stages, which is not actually formation stage. I would say it's a deformation stage, which is called a morning stage, where you may be required, you may be compelled to disband a team. Okay, team get disbanded or team gets reorganized. You may be compelled to do that. Normally should not be work. Okay, that's why I feel I mentioned that also. So this may result for some person happy, for others that may not be happy. Okay, so but you are responsible. You have to carry the responsibility, irrespective of the feeling. You are compelled to do morning stage also if required. Okay, so so Takman says in many cases this may not be required also. That's why he has kept that stage aside separately. Okay, morning stage or this. Maybe in this stage, okay, you many of you may experience that project manager may be required to issue few of them, if not all, few of them pink slip also, or few of them could be sitting on the bench, on the sitting bench also, if not at job, right? So this could be the you can say responsibility, highly responsibility if required, so as to maintain the consistency of the function going on, so as to maintain the good spirit with the good people. You may be required to do that also. Okay, so this is what something called as team formation stages on model. Okay, a few more concepts we'll discuss maybe tomorrow, friends. It's already 8:33, so I could see at the clock the okay ticking up. So, friends, this all from my end, I suppose. We should have a discussion also. So, rest all some you can say mantras, okay, strategies for maybe maybe any resolution of the conflict resolution that we'll discuss tomorrow, and we'll continue. Okay. So, friend, that's all from my end for the day. Over to you for any questions. So again, you can put up one by one any question what you. I know we had slightly went into deep complex concept today. So if you have anything which you have not understood, you are most welcome to ask me again. Over to you, friends. Thank you so much.
Nothing from my end, sir.
Thank
That
you.
was a good session to join again today. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Vetrivelji. So
Thank you,
I
sir.
think Vetrivel, sir, you could feel the continuity of the understanding.
Yes, I can.
Thank you. Thank you. So even today's
Thank you, sir.
thank you. Today's
The,
presentation
the
I have
first
been
day, the first day PPT you can share to me, sir.
yeah. I will share again. I already shared in the group. I will share again, and please go through that. Anything not clear, please get back to me any point of time, even after the program is over, sir.
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much, sir. Even though I missed the first lecture, first session, but
Oh, you have
I
joined
felt
today?
very connected. Yeah, yeah. And
Okay.
I felt very connected. Thank you so much for great session.
Thank you so
And
much.
I'll go through the previous slide for yesterday. And
Sure, sir. Sure.
yeah,
Thank you, doctor.
thank you
Sir,
so much. Thank you so much.
sir,
Thanks.
Thank
wanted
you,
to
sir.
ask
Thank
something.
you. Good.
Yeah, madam.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Uh, sir, just like we'll be getting certificate after this course, but with this study material, can we apply for a PMP exam? Will this study material be sufficient?
Yeah, surely, madam. That's why I mentioned yesterday or maybe orientation session. I think if I missed, let me repeat again. Uh, most of the principles, most of the concept, we have taken a cue from PMI only. So definitely, I'm quite sure, and this has happened also. I'm really happy to share with you, ma'am and friends, also that many of my participants in the earlier class, okay, if they wish, whenever they wish to upgrade their knowledge, okay, they appear for PMI certificate, they got it cleared. In fact, they got it more delightful to see the concept what we discuss here.
Sir,
Same should be explained for you.
okay, sir. In tomorrow's session, can you give us little guidance on how to prepare for that exam and how to apply for that exam? And
Okay, if time permits. We have a lot of
okay,
agenda for tomorrow's
Isn't
study lined up. But if time permits, surely this will be my delight to let you know. Otherwise, any point of time, as I said, because since I have been, you can say, certified PMI, I have been training on that also. So I'll be happy to share some guidance, maybe some support, some guidelines for that exam as well. Sure.
okay,
okay?
sir.
One question, sir.
Yes, sir.
Isn't it the certificate that will be provided after this class? I mean today. Isn't that
Uh,
qualify for PMP? Because I thought this was all related to the PMP, the whole program.
okay.
So that will be a qualifiable, right?
Absolutely. See, this is also one of the as I mentioned yesterday, and thankfully we have so many success stories that all those guys who are not only qualified, but they are qualified through this program as well. Okay, so they could get a good position, good upgradation, good promotion. Okay, into their respective industry, as well as they could get a new assignment also.
Yeah, I was not understanding why if we have this certificate, then again why one should
Okay, whatever. But
take
yes,
an
you are
exam.
free. You are free to go for that also. You're free for that also.
Okay, okay. So
There's one more
whatever.
institute which they are conducting. There are so many institutes they are conducting. PMI happens to be a benchmark in PM project management globally. No,
Okay,
yeah,
okay,
good
okay.
one. Thank you.
Sir, and
Hello, good
as we,
evening, sir.
Yes, good
sir,
evening.
sorry, can I speak, Fatima?
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Carry on.
Sir,
Yes, madam.
yesterday during this question and answer session, we discussed that you will be taking
And
some time on Scrum and Agile methodology. So, sir,
okay,
if you
yeah,
can elaborate more, please.
yeah, good that you have reminded me. That's been my really pleasure. So even though if you this could be slightly extended tomorrow, I wish to give some tidbits, some inputs about the agile,
Please, sir,
because
that would
I
be
could see
helpful.
many people, many participants, they're interested. They have been part of that project, and they're very keen to understand what agile is all about. How far you may have a prime role, okay, to be a leader, project manager as far as agile is concerned. I will try to touch base. No, I will definitely touch base tomorrow.
Sure, sir. I'll give a reminder.
Sure. Thank you.
Okay, Fatima, please.
Thank you, ma'am.
Hello, good evening, sir.
Hi, good evening, Fatima madam. Yes, please.
So yesterday's session I missed it, but today's session I understood very well, and your explanation is to the excellent
Thank
part.
you, ma'am. Thank you
So
so
we
much.
want, yeah, sir. I want to just need yesterday's flight
Oh, I'll
and
send again. Yeah, yeah. Because yeah, one or two guys, no, one or two colleagues, they have joined
yeah.
today. So yeah, not only today's presentation, but yesterday's presentation I will share again. Don't worry, ma'am. You are,
But one more thing I'll tell you, sir. But it's a great appreciation. Missing the first day, but people are understanding the second day session.
oh, okay.
So it's a
Thank you.
great achievement. We want to learn more from you.
Sure, madam. I'm at
The
your
pat,
disposal. I'm
yes, sir. The
always.
pattern of your speech and the presentation which you are giving. See, because we doesn't know anything about this field. By your help, we are trying to take few things very easily.
Thank you, ma'am. My
Thank you
pleasure.
so much, sir.
Thank you
Thank
so
you
much.
so much for
My
this.
pleasure. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Any other question, friends, before we close?
Uh, Sir, I have a small question.
Yes, Sachinji.
Sachin. Yeah. Sir, I have no idea about PMI. So is it the higher certification compared to PMP?
Not required. That's what I said. Suppose you wish to build up your career or upgrade yourself, or you would like to some you can say a special expert resource as a PM for your industry. This certificate is sufficient.
Okay.
You always you should look you should keep put yourself as an hot cake. Okay, so those who may not have inputs about the PM, you have. You have some extra inputs, not only certification, but the way you have joined and you understood the concept, that is much more sufficient. You could be one of the key resource, valuable resource for your industry. I'm quite sure.
That is what I was waiting to listen.
Yes, the same thing Abdul Bhai also
That
saying.
is sufficient. Because I got just dicey when I don't know what's her name, Fatima, I don't know when she
Yes,
said
yes,
that
thank you.
after this course, what if we take another exam? Then I said, oh, what is that? Isn't it?
But one more thing, friends, acha, Abdul Bhai, for one more thing, just since I think a few guys have left, but still, I just wanted to communicate to you. Government of India is seriously thinking of coming up with the advanced version of PM also. That's what I have suggested to them. So every time I meet them in Delhi, I have put up the proposal, and since I can take that one also. So who knows if at all the government agrees for that. So we should all of us we should wait for upward, or you can say enhanced advanced version of PM as well.
No problem. I'll be delightful and I'll be happy to join you as well.
Sure, sure.
Yes,
Thank you.
sir.
Thank you so much.
Sir Ajay here.
Yes, sir.
I just wanted to know whether this can help us to work as a consultant.
Yes, absolutely. Yes. I told you, sir. Definitely, sir. It's one point is about your career. Okay, and that you many of us we join here to upgrade their knowledge and position within the industry as one. Secondly, this could be suitable for your own industry also, that yes, I need to deploy all such skills, all this aspect in my own industry or my own organization. Secondly, thirdly, you being into the same field, you could be a very well qualified competent consultant also.
Okay.
So you could be an PM agency offering services for the industry. You can take up the projects, get it completed, and of course,
Because
okay.
normally,
So
in the industry, or even as per my knowledge, I always used to think that PM is basically any civil engineer should do. I mean, that has actually, this lecture has cleared my blockades.
no, which is not the case. That's why I said, sir, that whatever area you have, whatever segment you are from, these concepts. That's why I am not touched base any specific industry, any specific segment of the economy. Okay,
Understand.
all these concept, principles, and tools, they are widely applicable for any industry, any type of industry.
Right, right, right.
That's what I say.
Thank you.
So
And sir,
that's
please
why
let
for
us know
PM
when.
that is a specialty of PM. So
Okay,
for PM implementation, it's an open world for us.
I understand. So
Yes.
please let us know when you come out with the advanced program.
Yeah, yeah. I'm also looking for. But of course that there will be a certification exam also. That's what also I've given a design also to the government of India.
Okay, okay.
If they agree, definitely yes, all of us we should look for it.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Welcome, sir.
Sir, one more question.
Yes, Devapanji.
Time permitting. Yesterday, we had spoken about getting some basics like PERT chart and all that. You said you will be covering
Tomorrow.
it today.
We'll be discussing tomorrow, sir. Evaluation.
Tomorrow.
Yeah.
Okay, sir.
Evaluation of project we are discussing
Right.
tomorrow. It's the agenda for tomorrow. Gantt chart, PERT chart, everything tomorrow. Yes. Thank you.
Right.
We have one more day, sir.
Sir, yesterday we had also discussed about sharing few names about the tools. So hope we can discuss that tomorrow for the
Which
product
tools?
management. Like an example, the tools which are used by the project management.
Oh, yes. Okay, yeah. I will give you some example. Yeah. Industry-wise, some tools are readily
Industry
available.
wise.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah. Thank you. I
Reference
remember.
like Trello. Sir, I am using Trello as a tool
Trello, I know.
for just I thought everybody should be aware through you.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, thank
Definitely. Likewise, some different industries, different tools are there.
you.
That
Yes.
definitely I will share with you. Sure.
Thank
Yeah.
you, sir. Yeah.
Great. Thank you. Any few more questions, friends? Anybody else? Before we close?
Nothing from my end, sir. That was a good
Thank you,
session.
Abdul bhai,
Thank
you,
you.
sir. Thank you.
Have a good day. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye. So, if we are done with the questions today, let's close the session, friends. And thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Let's meet again once again for the last day, penultimate day of our training program tomorrow. And thank you so much. Good night. Enjoy your weekend.
Thank you, sir.
Bye.
Good night,
Thank
sir.
you.
Thank you, sir. Good night, sir. Thank you.
Bye. Good night.